one. Welcome to the Bridging the Generation podcast. And today I have a very special guest. Now, this one right here, I know you guys are not used to me bringing on R&B acts, but a lot of people do not know that I am a diehard, not R&B fan, not a soul fan. I am an R&B soul fanatic. And if you guys tuned in, if you guys are tuning in, you're going to see something that you're never going to see again. This woman right here is a one of one, a one in a million talent, and I'm not pouring it on just because I'm talking to her face to face.
I
But
love
when
it.
I hear this woman's voice, and when you hear this woman's voice, I'm telling you, it's going to touch your soul. It's going to shake up every emotion that you can possibly have in you. We're talking about the Empress of Soul, Mrs. Terisa Griffin. How you doing? How you doing today, sweetheart?
I am happy and glad to be here on this, in this universe right now. This
No
this,
doubt.
this is such a blessing to be alive.
No
So I'm
doubt.
so happy.
No doubt. No doubt. You look amazing, I must say. I have to start off saying that.
Thank you. You're so sweet. Thank you so much. Thank
No,
you.
it's no, it's
Thank you. Thank you for asking me to come here. I appreciate it.
no, it's the pleasure is all mine. I'm humbled. I just want to ask. I hope you got a little time because I'm a fan, and I'm a
Okay.
fan. I know I've watched a lot of interviews with you, and your catalog is amazing. I haven't seen anyone really dig into that catalog, and
Oh no,
the
that's true. That's true.
and the purpose of my platform is to bridge the generations between the genres and the age demographics, but also to focus on these amazing catalogs that artists like yourself have. So I'm just very appreciative of what you bring forth, and I'm going to give you your flowers while you're here.
Come on. Thank you, Jesus.
Nah, it's no problem. It's no problem. So look, first of all, I want to ask you, how's you holding up with the whole, this COVID and everything's going on? How are you feeling? And how's everything as far as mental space and your health and all of that? I'm not gonna get too deep into that, but
No,
just want
it's
to make sure
fine.
that you're good.
It's well, I don't know how often people are very honest about this, but this has been
Mm-hmm.
this has been catastrophic.
Mm.
Um, but I understand that I have a different philosophy about what's going on and why it's happening. I understand that we have been disrespectful to the earth.
Facts.
I understand that we have been disrespectful to others, and you know after 100 years we have another pandemic.
Mm.
And our job as human beings is to really reflect and understand why we are where we are.
Okay.
Everybody wants it to be over, but the question is, how did we get here? And how can we be better human beings coming out of this? It's hurtful to
Mm-hmm.
not be able to book your gigs, have your people come. Music serves a purpose. It heals, it invokes emotion, it releases emotions,
Mm.
and now we have a world of angry people, and music usually calms the spirit,
No
and
doubt.
and now we're at a point where people cannot get calm. you know
Mm.
um I dare to say we're on the brink of another civil war, and people don't want to really see it, but we are. um
True.
and so I look at it as a time of reflection, and I also look at it every day. I get up and I try to find out what is the opportunity in this,
Okay.
because we need to evolve. And I used to look at the Jetsons and I'm like, oh my God, would that ever happen? And boom, here we are, like active Jetson mode.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything is, virtual. We're talking to each other through the televisions, through technology. You know,
That's
um,
true.
I immediately, at first, I was I gotten into a depression. Uh, all of my dates, first the date, dates were pushed back, and then dates
Mm.
were canceled. And you imagine seeing your books get wiped out, for the entire year in a matter of days.
I can only imagine.
And I'll say in a matter of 3 weeks, because
Jesus.
at first it was pushed back, and then it became, now we are shutting down. And then they processed in a very small way. You
Okay.
know, we are shut down. They said, oh, we're shut down for a short amount of time, and we'll be able to come back. And then after people processed that there was no cure,
Okay.
that the cure would take time to cultivate.
Mm.
That meant that there was an indefinite question mark of when we would go back to work.
That's true. Yeah.
And so, when is it safe for people to come into our spaces and sit next to one another and actually enjoy us? And
true.
so, the end of March, I decided to do a virtual concert in my basement, and just raise money for my band. And I'm like, okay, because I'm thinking 3 months, and then after 3 months, I'm realizing this is going to take much longer, because I started sitting down thinking they have to cultivate this disease in order to even come up with something, and then they got to test it. Like, somebody said, oh, we'll be back to work, and by March. I'm like, you better figure out how to work before then. But no, we probably won't really be back to work next March the way that we used to work. So we need to get innovative. And so I just started coming up with other ways, to perform. I did a car concert, Adele Givens and my sister Adele.
Yeah.
I did a car
I saw that on your Instagram.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what? Let me try this, because I might need to kick this off next year. I might need to, we need to plan ahead. And while we hadn't planned this, let me plan and see how this happens. And it was a great success. We did well. People, our grown audience realized that they could sit in a car, turn to that radio station like good old days. And, and it turned out really, really great. And I have like 8 of them lined up for next year. And so I'm planning ahead, but my soul is unhappy. My soul is at unrest, because it's dangerous even to record right now with musicians. And I'm not really one of those, oh, let me have somebody, I like to have that feel of the musicians in the room with me.
No doubt.
That's some sexy shit.
It is. I think that's one of the reasons why, we connect with your music, because I feel it's very, it's very, it's not just mentally stimulating, but, just spiritually stimulating, and I don't know, do you know that you have that effect on us? I don't know if anybody has ever told you that.
I always try to process it, because maybe I'm not hearing what everyone else hears. I don't compare myself to other artists, because I know that in this great vast universe, God gave all of us a different type of talent. But I do appreciate other people, and I listen to them, and I hear the appeal in their voices, and I wonder, do I have the same appeal, or do I have what type of effect do I have on my audience? Because this is a tough business, and you wonder.
Talk about it.
This is a tough business. This is a business where people like to own you, and I think slavery should stop all across the board. I don't believe in that. I don't think because a producer works with you, he should own you. That other people feel like they have to go through that producer to get to you. Instead of them saying, "No, let me give you her number." It's that control factor that we have as human beings to control another person that I need to step away from and allow people to be the creative spirits that they are. So that has been one of the things I didn't care for about the business that I'm in. And I march to the beat of my own tune. I actually said to my husband today, I said, it's dangerous to be smart, knowledgeable, because then you don't want to buy into the bullshit.
That's true.
I'd rather be famous. I like being famous, but I don't want to be infamous. Because there's a difference,
no doubt.
With those things.
I feel like most people in today's society, most people rather be infamous.
Oh my God. But what they don't understand is you being infamous doesn't necessarily mean that you're making any money.
That is true.
And you have to understand that this is a business. You know, it is something that you grow older in, and that you have to have something to retire on, some way to live, you know, as you get more seasoned.
Okay.
You know, you have to, it's one thing to own a house, a $2 million house, and you don't know what the property taxes are. Can you afford them? Can you afford the $2 million for the next, you know,
right.
It's being smart about it. You know, you run out there and you spend all of this money on all of these materialistic things.
Right.
And then the question becomes, when you turn 40, what did I do with all my money? You know, and do I lose the house, the car, and all that thing? You know, the reality of it hits. And a lot of people, you get caught up in this whirlwind, and it's, you know, it's going great. Man, I'm making this money, and you don't know where it's going. You got to pay taxes and all. And so it's a business, even though it's a part of you. And I'm patting the throat because this is a part of me.
Right.
You know, this is my soul.
Right.
This thing.
Exactly. No, I get it. I get it.
Attached to me. And so when you come to me with bullshit, this thing has to work beyond the BS. You know what I'm saying? And,
no doubt.
And I know me, and I want to, you know, and I'm not going to vent to my audience because they didn't make that decision. You know, they're there for the release and the laughter and the love, and the journey that you should take them on is not, I'm fixing to drag you through my mud. Now, everybody has their own way of coping with things. And some of it is great marketing. But understand, when you get on the other side of it, you still have to live.
Okay.
And for me, taking responsibility for my actions, you know, even younger, they were like, she crazy. You know, you send me a deal that's crazy and tell me you want 50% of my publishing. I can tell you, kiss my ass.
No doubt. I know that's right.
You know, and some people are like, well, it's good to have 50% of something and have 50. I said, but what if I'm mad because I haven't calculated that out of my 50%, how much I got to pay?
Exactly.
How much do I have to pay out of that 50%? What do I have left for me? And am I going to be pissed off later? How dare you ask me for 50% of something that you didn't create?
So you would say, would you say like some of the old, you know, some of the old mechanics of the music industry from years ago, would you say they are still prevalent today as far as like how they handle business with artists, even though, you know, we got streaming and everything, but, you know, it seemed like, you know, listening to you, it seems like, you know,
well,
some things haven't changed.
I can only talk about my experience. I don't know what they're doing now. I don't know who signed what, why they signed it, what kind of deal it was.
No doubt.
Artists have changed in that regard. And I don't know if they're still doing that. If they are, shame on them. You know, I know that it's a business that will take advantage of you. That's never going to change.
Okay.
That in order for it to pimp itself and work the way it works, somebody has to get pimped.
Exactly. And you know what? That's unfortunate. I feel like, you know, like you just said, I feel like if artists take more control of their art and if more artists become knowledgeable of what they of the appraisal of themselves, the record industry will falter. You know, as far as the labels and they're going to make sure that doesn't. They're going to try to make sure that doesn't happen. In my opinion.
You know, I think the more knowledge you have, the more dangerous you are.
Facts.
Cat Williams is a dangerous person because he understands the business.
No doubt.
And in that danger, I love it. You know, I love it. I love it because if you're gonna pimp somebody, pimp yourself. You know, and that's really the job now. You know, a lot of people don't understand Cardi B, but she's doing a great pimp job.
Right.
And women are learning to pimp themselves in this business, and that's hard for some men to swallow in this business. That we have learned how to pimp ourselves.
Right.
WAP didn't have to be the greatest song. It was the marketing and the fact that a woman would say that about herself. And it was disturbing, and people had to listen to it.
I don't know why though. I don't know why. I mean, guys been saying that type of stuff for years.
In private rooms, that happens. You know, we as women might say it's wet. But on a normal basis, just in a song, you ain't gonna really the average song. Now I pull up to the bumper, baby. You know, that was daring. That was daring.
Right.
She was telling them where to pull up, okay?
No doubt.
But here, this is blatant out.
Okay.
WAP, baby.
There you go. Well, look, Miss Griffin. I want to talk a little bit more about that. I want to talk about your story, if you don't mind, because you have an amazing story. I've done my due diligence as far as researching you. I've been waiting to have you on this platform for, I'm talking about months. And, you know, when I first heard you, I was just scouring through the internet. I love music. And, you know, that wonderful song came on. That was the song that introduced me to you. This is years ago. Mind you, I'm not new to you. I'm not new. But that was the song that we're talking about now. I'm a little bit late when going by your catalog, you dropped in 2006. I got hip in 2011. So
you hip. It's okay, whatever it is.
Yeah, so I've been a fan for 10 years. So look, with that being said, can we start from the beginning? Like, where exactly are you from?
I'm from Monroe, Louisiana.
Stop it.
Town. Yeah, a small town. The home of Delta Airlines. That's where they use a crop duster.
Okay.
To start Delta Airlines.
No doubt.
My hometown. That's our call to fame. It's a small place, but it was a safe place.
Okay.
And my father was a minister, and I have 3 sisters that sing. You know, so my oldest sister, Mary, was in the movie Studio 54. And
that was my movie.
Yeah, so my whole family, my whole family, you know, it's kind of in the genes, you know, as far as singing is concerned. So that's where I'm from. Okay,
so now I have a buddy that's from Monroe, Louisiana now, and I never did ask him this, but is Monroe, do you guys share the same culture as like New Orleans? Because, you know, it's not too far from New Orleans, but do you guys share the same culture?
Louisiana is a small state. In all actuality, I think you can drive from top to bottom in 6 hours and across it in 4. So you know, it's not a big state. Maybe 4
no doubt
hours you can drive across the entire state. I mean, and then up from I would say north and south 6 7 hours at the most. So it's not a big state, but we share the cultures, the Bayou Classic. You know, so
Southern
in Monroe, we call it College Row. So now, even though Jackson State is in Mississippi,
no doubt,
that's only 2 hours. We see Jackson State would be about 2.5 hours from Monroe. So you could go to Jackson State and you hear the band, and then you come to Monroe. We had Northeast Louisiana University. Then you go 15 miles up the road, you had Louisiana Tech University, where Carl Malone,
Terry Bradshaw went there also.
Exactly. And then you go 8 more miles up the road, maybe 10, there's Grambling State University. Okay. So then, you know, so you've got that, and then you travel 90 miles away and you have the Army Reserve, which is you know, all of that. So then if you go downstate, you go, let's see, from Monroe, about 3 hours, you would run into Southern and Xavier, and then go a couple more, another couple of hours, and you would go to LSU, and you know, so you're talking a very short drive. So we on the weekends we would go college hopping, you know, and I pledged when we was walking in line. So
no doubt,
you know, we were walking. I was pledging, and so we would go and we would do the step shows.
Right.
You know, that's when we would step and compete and win money for our sororities, and you know, it was an amazing time.
No doubt.
So coming to Chicago was quite different. You know?
Okay, so look, I want to go back a little bit. So you're from Monroe, Louisiana. I just heard you tell me that your father was a Baptist minister.
Hallelujah.
So you know, growing up in the Bible Belt area, how was that growing up, and you know, what was some of the experiences that your father taught you as far as just life in general and being raised, you know, with a father that was a Baptist minister? How was that like?
Keep your legs closed. Hallelujah. We really didn't get a lot of secular music. You could fool my daddy with a little Patti LaBelle. He knew who C.L. Franklin was, which was Aretha Franklin's
Aretha's pops, yeah.
Because we would listen to C.L. Franklin on Sundays sometimes, or Saturdays, and
no doubt.
So Aretha was, you know, one of those voices that you could hear in our house, especially, you know, Precious Lord, and you know, I grew up on all of them. You know, really great gospel music. As a matter of fact, the choir, it's odd, but my church choir, Green Grove Baptist Church, where my father pastored, where we actually were members, because my father officiated over 4 other churches. So, you know, down there, those ministers go from one church to the other on a Sunday. So our Sundays were filled with nothing but church, and you would get home late Sunday night, you know, because after church, you got to go visit sister so-and-so, and, you know, and that's when your mama either say, go ahead and eat, or don't eat. Tell them you fool, you know. They might have dirty house syndrome or something, but but you know, so it was always gospel, always singing. And my father taught us how to harmonize in the car riding. If you was pitchy, he pull you over, he get you together. So you might get your butt whooped on I-65, I-20 or something. You better watch that note. So it was and we were bullied when we were the church girls, and I had no problem fighting. We actually got thrown out of one school, and my dad had to drive us to another one. Because I was like, it's on, put your hands on. Because my dad was like, you know, don't let somebody. My father never told us, you know, turn the other cheek. You know, he's like, these people are hitting my kids. My kids are hitting them back.
Hey, there you go.
Eye for an eye, boo. So,
there you go. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So, when you were growing up, so when I'm thinking about, like, what we talking, Clock Sisters, that, you know.
Oh my God, Sundays.
Yeah, Five Blind Boys of Mississippi, all that type of vibe.
Shirley Tolliver gospel show came on Sundays, and the first song you heard, Jesus is the answer.
Okay.
He breaks every fetter. It really doesn't matter. You know, there's nothing impossible, nothing infallible, nothing too hard for my God to work out. And we sit there going, yes, no matter what the problem. And so my sisters and I, we would harmonize together, you know, because that's who we heard.
Okay.
Sisters, you know, Twinkie and them, that's who you heard.
There you go.
We had James Cleveland.
Cleveland. Yeah.
And you know, I remember when I first heard the Potter's House, and I can remember Have You Been Tried in the Fire and all these songs, you know, that you could actually hear the words.
No doubt.
You know, that, you know, just would send something through your soul.
Okay.
You know, God is just God is my salvation. God is.
No doubt.
You know, that was so powerful, you know, to actually go to church and feel the Holy Spirit. So
look, I mean, I hate to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So would you say your introduction to music was through gospel?
Absolutely.
Like, so when there was, you know, what was your introduction to, like, you know, I sound like an old man what I'm about to say, but secular music. What was your introduction to, like, R&B? Like, because, you know, we were around the same age, and you had like New Edition, and you had Gladys Knight, and, you know, so all of that was, you know, when we was younger, that was popular. So what was your introduction to that type of music?
So we had the people at church after church.
Talk about it.
I remember my god sister Linda Faye taught us who Natalie Cole was, because she had us learn our love will stand tall as a tree. Our love.
That's what I'm talking about.
will spread as wide as
Yeah.
And that was the first song that my sister and I actually learned as
Okay.
little kids.
Okay.
And so our babies, we had people in between who would tell
Mm.
us different. My first concert was Prince. My very first concert, I was 12 years old, and my
Okay.
babysitter was not trying to miss the Prince and the Revolution, and
We
Marvin
talking
Gaye.
about, hold on. Let me think of this album. This is, oh man. We talk about Adore around that area. Like when he did the song Adore and
Let me tell you, this is how lost I was.
yeah.
When I saw him at this concert, he played Purple Rain. And I
Wow.
was 12. So it was wow.
Right.
It was wow.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
Sign of the times. I'm sorry. Sign of the times. I'm trying to think. We talk about, I don't want to tell your age. I know we around the same age, but you saying 12. So I'm like, okay, that's around that round. So people, if whoever's watching,
I don't know
they
if
do the math.
I don't know if Purple Rain had been out already.
No, it has. It was. Sign of the Times was the album that came out when you was 12. And Purple Rain came out 3 years before that.
Okay, so then you know how late I was. You understand my lateness in understanding. I didn't really. I remember somebody introducing me to Michael Jackson. A friend of mine in 8th grade.
Hold up, tell me about that. How in the world? Because I'll be trying to tell people, Michael Jackson was so big. Just imagine Drake and Lil Wayne and combined. When he dropped Thriller, we was real little. But that album, it took over for like 5 years. So the reason why I say that, like, how did you get itchy? How did that happen? Break that down to me.
Her name was Yolanda. I'm not gonna ever forget. It was Terisa and Yolanda. They were sisters, and Terisa and Yolanda had a Michael Jackson album, and he had on a suit, and it was like a bow tie and a white, and he had on this suit.
Off the Wall album.
Off the Wall. And she was going on and on about Michael Jackson. I was like,
no doubt.
I'm like, what? I never heard of the song. I knew of the Jackson 5s, but not the music. Because we didn't get to watch variety shows and stuff like that a lot. I tell you the reason why I had to do so much research, because we were real ministers' kids. So it wasn't allowed in our house really.
Wow.
And so when every opportunity that I got to even get in a talent show, it was because I was sneak and listen to something.
Okay.
When I remember on 9th grade, I discovered who Tina Turner was, like 8th grade. And I had to have a skirt. I had my mom make me a little corduroy skirt with a slit down the side. And my dad was like, where you going in that skirt? I was really clueless in a lot of things, really soaking up a lot of, just soaking up whatever I could at school, with the kids at school. And I wasn't that outgoing, so I really had to learn from the other kids what was going on, because other than that, there wasn't a lot of outlet in our house. My sister was really, Marianne was always on point, knowing what the trend was, what the new designer was. I was kind of a bookhead, and I really was a daddy's girl, and I really trusted that God was all I needed. And so not that I need more than the Lord now, but I needed to understand that the world was larger in the sense of what music, had to offer. And I learned all of that through other people, not because our parents played it. My father played gospel, and we listened to the gospel station.
Okay.
And so that was just kind of shoved at you. That's all you had. And so I was only lucky. If y'all hear my Pomeranian, I have 2 Pomeranians, Michael and Gabriel. And Gabriel is the oldest. He is barking at me, trying to give me the business. So that's a real bark. This was going on. But I mean, so I was blessed. I was also blessed to have voice teachers, music teachers who were amazing.
Right.
Mr. Inslee loved the Lord too. So
Right.
it was rare that I was going to get something. I remember when he gave me, ain't no need to worry what tonight is going to bring. It'll be all over in the morning. You know, I remember that. It was
Okay, hold on. Let's go back a little bit. I want to know with I'm listening to you sing. You listen to you sing, and one thing I notice about you, you have a very distinctive tone. You have a very distinctive tone in your voice, and it's so soulful. It's scary soulful, and I want to know how. Like, when did you realize that you can sing? Like, like this is something that I enjoy doing, and that's something that I can really, something that's worth me pursuing.
I was 3 years old, and my father called my sister up to sing.
Okay.
And I screamed out. No, so I'm gonna take that back. I knew at 3 years old I could sing, but she was 8 and I was 5. And my dad called her up to sing, and I was like, I can sing too. And he said, well,
now, hold on, one second. What's the order of the sisters? Are you middle, oldest, youngest? What's that?
I'm a middle kid. I'm the second oldest.
Okay.
And then there are two under me.
Okay.
So my older sister and I would sing together a lot. We harmonized together. We would sing gospel songs and play off of each other's voice. We would do runs around each other and compliment each other in it's a very beautiful way. And whenever we do a sisters concert, people love it. Sometimes they leave crying because we tell stories about when we were growing up and stuff like that. And so she and I have always been that yin yang,
right.
And that was one of the reasons why I left Louisiana, because people were pitting us against each other. They would they would compare us and say we were in competition, and that hurt my heart. And I'm like, I need to go somewhere else, because I want to be in entertainment, and I don't want somebody thinking that I'm competing against my sister.
Okay.
That's too hurtful. That's too hurtful, especially when you love somebody to the core.
Right.
I didn't want that. And I wanted to be somewhere else. I used to tell my parents all the time. First I was lying, talking about, y'all must have adopted me. And they was like, you better look at yourself, all y'all ass look just alike. This kind of thing. But, I just always felt like I was not supposed to be in Louisiana. And so I left. And, I was in college, and
yeah, because I heard you got a music scholarship.
Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit.
I studied under an opera teacher.
Okay.
He's a famous opera singer named Louis Neighbors.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, a few years ago, unfortunately, he, God rest his soul, he died in Italy on tour singing opera. And Mr. Neighbors was so amazing. They gave me a scholarship to Northeast Louisiana University. I had about 8 scholarship offers because I sang chamber music, and you would compete in the state of Louisiana.
Yeah, explain chamber music to the people who don't know what that is.
Chamber music, you hear it in a lot of the horror movies. Sometimes you hear it. I'm trying to teach them where you hear it at. You hear it in chorale. You hear it in church. You hear the Latin, and it's sometimes it's 8-part harmonies.
Okay.
When you hear Handel, the Messiah, that's more of a chamber music. And it's really probably what has saved my voice over the years, to have had that training to really protect the voice. Mr. Neighbors used to, say, when I pledged, as a matter of fact, when I pledged, he took me off of my scholarship for a semester because he said I had disrespected my voice. And I really had. They had me running around singing for free, walking around campus singing all loud and crazy. And I was hoarse all the time. He was like, you don't deserve this scholarship. Come back. So I'll see you next semester with this ignorance. And that's literally what he would say. But he was also, this opera singer was also over what we call the gospel choir, which was called Interdenominational Gospel Choir on campus. And he, you know, we would, let me just say, all the church bunnies decided they, you know, you get the Holy Spirit and go to falling out before the concert over. He said, Jesus ain't in you all like that. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. You shut up and stop acting a fool and sing these songs. So I had a great vocal teacher.
Okay. So what range would I classify your voice as? Also
Contralto.
Contralto. Okay. Okay.
I'm an alto with range.
See, okay. I was gonna say alto, but you know what it is. You know better than I do. What I do know is your range is ridiculous. So you know.
Lettucey and Rochelle range. Rochelle Farrell range is ridiculous. I have a wonderful ability to interpret what songs I can perform, and that's very important. You see some people go up there and sing Minnie Rippleton and they can't Rippleton.
That's true.
I'm not going to touch Rippleton because that's not my voice range.
Right.
That's Shanice. That's, you know, some people are blessed with that range there. I have a great.
But hold on, Miss Griffin. I don't like how you said some people are blessed, because you're making it seem like you're not, like you are truly blessed. The voice that you have a distinctiveness, you see. One thing I notice about singers, you have a lot of great singers, but then you have a lot of great singers that sound the same. Your voice is a very distinct distinct tonality, you know, in your range and in your voice and your timbre. Like somebody who knows voices. I'm giving you like I hear that. Thank you. I appreciate. I hear, when I hear your voice, I have to stop. I have to take you in doses sometimes, and it's a good and bad thing, because it takes me to places that I feel like as a man and as people sometimes we don't want to go to, and that's just off your voice alone. Now
you making my night, baby.
Say that again.
You're making my night.
No, hold on. See, I know music, and like I said, when I heard your voice, it stood out. Like somebody mentioned to me, "Oh, she sounds like Trina Broussard," and I'm like, "That's a pretty good compliment, because she's amazing." But I don't think she sounds like her. But
I don't either. But I love Trina.
She's dope, but I don't think she don't sound nothing like her. But just the voice alone, like, let me say this: you can sing The Phone Book, and it's going to sound good. You can sing the carry-out menu from the Chinese place up the street, and it's going to sound good. And I feel like that's what, the artists that I have come on my platform, I feel I don't care about numbers and followers, and I look at the quality of the music and the quality of the artist, and you are special. So with that being said, let's talk about your songwriting.
Okay.
Let's talk about your songwriting. When, like I said, the first time I heard you was on the song Wonderful. But one thing I noticed, like, you're very detailed in your songwriting. It's very personal. So when did you start writing songs? When did you realize, like, not only can I sing, but I can write songs? And, you know.
I remember the first song that I wrote was called Love Me. It was love me, then I can feel my body.
Oh my goodness.
And that was the first song that I ever wrote. And then when I came to Chicago,
okay,
I became a part of CAMS, which was it was a Chicago songwriters. It was a music, group, and that's how I actually ended up singing for Jerry Butler.
Wow.
And so
you just said that like so casual, like he's only a legend.
He's a legend. The Iceman. Well, that's because
the Iceman cometh. He's only like one of the greatest soul singers ever. But keep going. Keep going.
So I started writing
Okay.
And it really just Percy Beatty would be down the hall.
Okay.
In this place where I was working with this guy, and this is when I started to understand how you can't trust everybody, but at the same time, writing was a whole another thing. And I remember I wrote "Love Change" with this guy Rico McFarlane, and memories of autumn haunts me with every leaf that falls. Visions replay forever in my mind are now installed. Good times with you that used to dance around inside my head. Replace with flicks of you and someone else in our bed. No, I won't ever love you again. In spite of the things I know I felt with you, time cannot heal the wounds within. My love is changed. Love changed in time. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It was fun. It was like, oh,
Like
okay, I can feel this. I can feel this.
you do that so effortlessly. Like that's what I mean. Like that's special. Like everybody cannot do that. Like you can put in like that's something that you either have or you don't. And I'm just calling it how I see it, and that's what struck a chord with me. So I'm sorry, but continue. Tell me.
No, but that was just one. That was and then and then he wrote a song for me, Mike. This guy named Mike Gray, and I was writing with him, but I didn't really get a lot of credit for what I was doing.
Okay.
It was I take what I can out of whatever situation.
Okay.
And then as I was going through my trials and tribulations, because I was homeless, I didn't have anywhere to live, and I would park my car in front of Minister Farrakhan's house. I always say that, family can be the best thing or it can be cruel to you. And at the time, my uncle was just really horrible to me. One of my uncles, not all of them. One of them, the one I was staying with. And I just decided, I don't want this situation. I don't want to feel this way. And I got in my car and I put all my little stuff in there, just like I came here with. And I remembered one of my friends who was Muslim in Louisiana said, if you ever get in trouble, the safest place in Chicago is in front of Mr. Farrakhan's house.
Okay.
Whether they, and so his security team was really great to me. I parked around the corner and they watched me for 3 months until I earned enough money, to get me an apartment. And I would go to McDonald's, and I never went to a women's shelter. I went there once and I saw the conditions and I was like, I'm better off in my car, and so I would even go to the studios where I was, doing demos, and I would get there early and I would take a shower or wash up in the bathrooms. And I always had my little care packages with my Ziploc bags with my towels and stuff. And you definitely learn the value of $1, and you learn the value of your life. And I would buy a sub sandwich that came with fries and a drink. I would buy that every day, and I cut it in half, and I ate one half in the morning and the other half in the evening, because that's how broke I was. And but for me, my passion and my dream was so important. And so in the first apartment that I got, I remember Charles Matthews, God rest his soul, he vouched for me. That was Jerry Butler's piano player, his musical director. He vouched for me, and these guys let me have this apartment. And I bought one chair. It was a Papasan chair, so I could sit in this round chair and go to sleep. And that's all I had with this chair. And I would lay in the chair, and I was suffering because I wanted music was a relationship for me. It was a relationship that had been in my soul since I was 3 years old.
Right.
And this was a painful thing that I knew that I wrote this song called Anymore, and it's on My Naked Soul. And did you think, I was just laying there in this chair, that I wouldn't cry? Do you think that I wouldn't die inside? Do you think that I wouldn't lose my mind when you said you didn't love me anymore? And there was all the songs
I
about
love
me.
that. I love that song. That second verse, you take it to another
But
level.
I heard
On it.
the words you spoke, but I'm not listening just the same. I'll block it out my mind. Ooh, you're driving me insane, baby. I gave my love to you unconditional. You gave it back to me, then you closed the door. Did you think that I wouldn't cry? Oh Lord, did you think that I wouldn't die inside? Did you think that I wouldn't lose my mind when you said you didn't love me anymore?
Hey, I'm done. Good night. Hey, I retired. Like that song right there. I'm gonna tell you this, and this is no what the kids say, cap. I literally played that song from my mouth to your ears. I literally played that song 6, 7 times in a row off that Naked Soul album. Because I believe that's the second song on the album.
First.
Yeah, you had an intro. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No,
You had an intro.
I'm sorry. Because I do have these interludes, these
You had,
intros.
you had a talking interlude, and then you went into that song. So, what made you lead that album off with that particular song?
Because I was in so much pain musically. Music has been a very it's taken care of me. It has been my lifelong relationship.
Mm-hmm.
It has hurt me. It has loved me. It has caused me more pain than anything. And really, the bridge on there describes how I knew this love would last. And I feel like a broken glass, the pieces of my life shattered on the floor, no way to love anymore, because it was so much hurt in this business, that's but it's my first love. So that's how I wrote it. And I was like, I have to start this project off with the truth. And I tried to start every project off with what that truth is. Whatever that truth is, that's what I started off with. I cannot lie when it comes to my music. And so when people say, well, where's the next project? I'm living it. So I'm writing it. And it comes out when it comes out. It's not, oh, let me go pump out this song.
Right, exactly.
Because my projects are a story. Each one is a story.
No doubt.
From beginning to end, each one is a story about what I'm experiencing. Really,
Okay.
And you have to live, in order to do it.
Right.
That's for me. Other people, they have a different experience, right?
Right.
But for me, if I'm going to write from my soul and give it to my audience and give them the story, then I want to take them on a journey. The last project that I did, Revival of Soul, I started it out with the song called Save Me.
I love that song.
It sounds like a gospel song right in the beginning, because that's where I come from.
See, you remind me of like I noticed, and I don't know. I know you came up in the gospel, but one thing I remember about like the Commodores, like every song at the end of the first side of the album was the beautiful ballad, whether it was Steel or just all these great ballads, 3 Times a Lady. One thing about you always start your song off with these dramatic ballads. Like I'm sorry, you start your albums off with these very beautiful, dramatic ballads.
I do.
And I love it, you know, and I personally have no problem with it. But do you think like sometimes people just haven't had enough life experience to like fully digest those type of songs?
I think that it may be too painful sometimes for them to digest that type of song. And radio doesn't push that anymore. You know,
True.
The substance of that means that what do you play that behind? So
the format, how does that fit in the radio format?
Right. Where do you play? Me, it's a no-brainer. But for them, you know, Revival of Soul. So this first song is Save Me. I don't really know how to live without you, but I need to. I become a woman that I just cannot stand. I need to. I compromising all that I really am. See, I need to stay away from you. Realizing that whatever.
Oh, man, I love that one.
Save me, save me, save.
Girl, you about to give me a heart attack.
And radio is like, where do black radio is like, where do you put that?
Right.
You know, if I was I feel like sometimes if I was Adele, that would be a no-brainer because they play different music, white pop for white artists. And I don't mean, this is not a racist.
No, you're being factual. You're only being factual.
They are allowed to grow and be the things that they are. With us, we stay in this box of, you know, it's got to be here. It's got to sound like this. It's got to.
Right.
I'm like, take a chance and play it. You play it 4,000 times, something else, and you know. But take a chance and play it. I had a song on Revival of Soul. It's just. I thought.
Let me brace myself. You about to, because you about to have me just melt in this chair, woman. Like you don't know. Like I listen to your albums like straight through, like, and it just take me. Well, I was listening to your music earlier today, man. I ended up calling my lady. I was like, man, this woman does not know the emotions, and I have the text. I can screenshot it to you. I was like, this woman does not know the emotions that she calls me to go through, like through her music, through her voice. Like, I wonder, does she know that she has this capability, this effect on us? Like, it's different. Lettucey is great. Trina Broussard and Vivian Green, they're great in their own rights, but your music is so personal, and you just have this intangible that is very rare in a singer. And I know you don't put out an album every year and every other year, but I don't care, because what you have released is good enough for me. The music that you release is going to last me for 5 years. The last Revival of Soul, that's 2015. Would I like you to have some? Of course, but you can't tell me that project is not going to last you 5, 10, 20 years, like from beginning to end. I'm sorry, I can go on, but go ahead.
No, I make them praying that they
right.
Talk about love.
No doubt.
Oh my God, Talk About Love for me was so talking about your love, love. I mean, your love is beautiful. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Talking about your love.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
When I was sitting down writing it, I was like, man, beautiful, marvelous, talking about your love. Love is beautiful, marvelous, talking about love, talking about your love. Love. love, your love, love. I'm talking about your love. You're so beautiful, marvelous. Talking about, baby. I mean, the whole, when I was laying there writing it, I'm like, when you find something
Right.
that's beautiful and marvelous,
Yeah.
you work
Yeah.
hard at keeping it.
No doubt. No doubt. No doubt.
You got to put the work in.
No doubt.
There's another song on there that I wrote for my husband. It's called Cotton Candy Kisses, and it's a nasty song, but most people won't know it's nasty.
Right.
I was trying to write it in such a way, that it wouldn't be so overt, but it is.
Right.
It is
hey, it's a place. Song. It's a place. It's you got the WAP songs. I don't have no problem with a song like that. That's like the PG version. Like
it really is. It really is.
So I'm cool.
On my mouth is when my husband, he said,
there you go.
And then he said, I really like this. If you can make a man say, I really like this. Right. And I was like, good. And then my friend who does my makeup,
okay,
Landis, he said, I let my wife hear the song. And he was like, oh my God. He said, Teresa, cotton candy kisses on my mouth. Lay cotton candy kisses on my mouth. Do it again. Do it again. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, 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 la.
Y'all hear this?
Cotton candy kisses on my mouth. Cherry blossoms wet and wild. Your sweetest touch, it drives me wild. Like feathers melting in the sun. Hear you breathe a celestial song, sweeter than a honeycomb. Teardrops, ecstasy, I'm home. Say la 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 la. Just something sweet for your guy.
Yeah.
I had to have that, but it's also the pain of naked. There's a song called Naked. I feel so naked when I'm with you.
Right. Yeah.
Exposed with somebody that you feel so naked.
So look, I want to ask this. Like you have these very sensual, these very thought-provoking songs. When I hear your music, do you think like there is a disconnect between how men accept, women and like how is there a disconnect by the way we are able to receive love? Because you're laying it right on the table like Naked Soul. And you're letting us as men know how it feels to be a woman and all the different emotions, the beauty in love and the pain in love. But with all that said, I still like, what is your take on that? Just that disconnect? Because my opinion, I feel like it's a disconnect. And I feel like your music, it puts it paints such a beautiful picture, but it shows the beauty and the pain. So I know that's a loaded question, but what's your take on that?
I feel like I've had some quality relationships.
No doubt.
And I learned that I'm very flowery. There's a lot of flowers.
Explain.
But it's pain.
Okay.
It's very overt. It's very, let me tell you exactly how I'm feeling. I want you to understand how I'm feeling. And that may be too much, for a guy who's not ready. And a lot of women need to understand that we're already 10 years older than a man when we're born.
Facts. It's only facts.
We're 10 years older already.
No doubt.
And we grow up with bullshit, like get married, have a baby, get a husband. It's the programming of women. We're programmed from birth.
Right.
You get a baby, first you get married, you have a baby, and you live happily ever after. I love the song Fairy Tales by Anita Baker. I can remember stories, those things my mother said. She told me fairy tales before I went to bed.
Yeah.
She spoke of happy endings, then tucked me in real tight. She turned my lamplight off and kiss my face goodnight. My mind will fill with visions of perfect paradise. She told me everything. She said it'd be so nice. We'd ride up on his horse and take me away one night. I'd be so happy with him. We'd ride up out of sight. She never said that we would curse, cry, and scream and lie. She never said that maybe someday he'd say goodbye. My story ends as stories do. Sweet evidence that's clear to view. No longer living lives in paradise. No fairy tales. And that's it. That song says everything about the lie women believe from itty bitty baby crap. And
right.
If that's what your program is, then you already programmed wrong. If those are the files that you are given,
okay,
then you are programmed wrong already. Because the truth of the matter is you need to be a whole person in order to be with a whole person.
No doubt. Talk about it.
And a lot of times, most people, they don't understand that they need to process those files differently. And men are, they're taught to be hard. You need to be a man. You can't be all emotional, because if you're emotional, you're soft. And men don't cry. They're taught bullshit. And so when we're taught two different types of BS, how can that come together easily? Because you're not taught. Look, you son, you go to college, you find a good woman, you marry her, you make her. You're really not taught that.
Right.
You sow your oats. Don't settle down with that one. That ain't. She might not even be the right one. You're not taught that. And so when you're taught two different things, it's harder to come together because you're trying to live a different norm.
It's two philosophies. It's two different philosophies.
Two different philosophies that are clashing. Because how can something work if somebody's telling you that this is not what you're supposed to do, and this person is saying this is what you're supposed to do? So my music is about the truth. The truth is that I need somebody to save me. I need to save myself, because I don't want to live without you, but I need to.
Right.
I need to. I become somebody I can't stand. And I need to stay away from you. I've compromised all that I really am. Yes, I need to save me. And when a guy hears that, it sounds like an angry Black woman. It sounds like drama. And not necessarily, man, where is she? Not even about, let me understand what I just heard. Not even understanding that a man can get hurt.
Right.
The same way. But he can't tell his buddies, you know what? I get that. Because guys are taught to be hard. So in radio, what you hear is a lot of, I remember when I heard Kim first.
That's my guy. Shout out to Kim. He's dope. He's dope. Yes. Shout out to Kim.
And Kim, women love that somebody's talking from a sweet side. Be my wife and all the stuff. And so, he's going to pack it out. Will Downing, he's going to pack it out because, women want that flower. That's why when Luther Vandross would walk on stage and say, "Don't you remember you told me you love me, baby? You said you'd be coming back this way again." That is, baby, oh, baby, yeah, I love you. I really do.
No doubt.
So you drop. Everyone was throwing her draws at the stage. Because that's what you want to hear.
So look, so Terisa, when do you think, like, with that being said, do you feel like art imitates life or life imitates art? Because I wonder, is the music that we hear, that we associate ourselves with, that we gravitate to, is that just a reflection of society, or is that a reflection of the music? What would you say it is? How would you feel?
I feel like we try too hard to be trendy. Therefore, society is trying to mimic art as opposed to allowing art to mimic society. Society wants to be a piece of art instead of understanding that art is going to be, what society shows it.
No doubt. No doubt.
And we are supposed to paint that picture for art. And and we flipped it now, and now we are listening to a lot of the same thing over and over again, as opposed to saying, oh my God, this is so different. We're thirsty when they do put the money behind a great artist. We're so thirsty to hear that artist, because it's so rare that you get to hear it. And they've made instruments an enemy. Instruments is an enemy now. And I'm like, how did an instrument become an enemy? And how did programming become the art form?
Talk about that, because Miss Griffin, I'm listening to your first project, and the live instrumentation on that project is amazing. Now, I don't know all the band members or anything like that, but one thing I noticed when you released that album in 2006, I noticed there was a shift in R&B. To me, around that time, I say that was the end of like traditional R&B, like being at the forefront. You had guys like Kim and Jaheim, and you had a Music Soul Child and Anthony Hamilton, Ledisi, Rashawn Patterson, Vivian Green. But what I'm saying is those artists got pretty decent radio airplay, and it seemed like there was a shift, and all of a sudden you just did not hear, like when you released that project, that was rare to hear an album with musicians on it with an amazing singer. Like you had the best of both worlds. So
they were scared to play it. They were terrified to play it. Why? People were telling me, and like,
was that the vision? Was that
your? Oh my God, Next Soul is the bomb, and I'm like, shut up, because now I've got Revival of Soul, and in between that I had Soul Sophrenic. So I'm like, stop.
Right.
And when they heard it, it was like, it's so many instruments. They kept telling me it's so many instruments, and I'm like, and is that a bad thing?
But that's what made it stand out to me. That's what made that, when I think of 2005, 2006, that project is a landmark project to me, because there's nothing that sounds like that. It's rare that you hear anything that sounds like that, to have this beautiful voice backed by some of the greatest musicianship, of that era. So I don't understand what was the inspiration behind that project?
I just,
the Naked Soul album.
At that point, I found my soul.
Mm-hmm.
I found my soul. I just said, screw it. It's okay. I'm just going to do what makes me happy.
Okay.
I've been working with people, and they, were like, I work on a song, and then you wait a year, and then, and you're waiting on them to put it out or to have some direction about it. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to put this out myself. I'm going to hire, the musicians that I love, that I know will listen to me, that I can collaborate with. I'm tired of people trying to tell me what to do, and
no doubt,
lose weight, do this. It was you need to be this. And I'm like, at that point, I'm 5'2".
Okay.
And I was like 124 pounds, and they still wanted me to lose more weight. And I looked like a bobblehead. And I was like, you know what? This big old booty ain't going nowhere. How
does the music sound? That's what I say. Like, what does the music sound like? I don't care about and you're a beautiful woman, first off, but I don't care. I think we get too wrapped up in the aesthetics instead of the actual music.
Well, and that's the other part of it. When people are wrapped up into that, I'm happy for people like women like Jill Scott,
No doubt.
But Philly has a different synergy of musicians.
Appreciation.
Yeah, and they stick together differently. Chicago has to work on that, and Philly took the, you know, they got it on air. You
Right.
know, they were able to because somebody, okay, they're able to they were able to do that.
Right.
Steve McKeever, I think, was the one who did it, and he also brought out the husband and wife or whatever. So
Right.
that was
Kindred,
somebody,
Kindred, and the Family Soul.
Kindred and Family Soul.
Yeah.
So they were, you know, they had grabbed that, and then at that time there was a Michael Baisden show, and Michael Baisden was playing certain artists that, you know, so it was all about who could you get to, and at the time Southern radio was playing me, so that was a great plus for me to have South, you know, to have the Southern radio market playing me, and then Phil, and then like Cleveland and Milwaukee, but getting my hometown Chicago, you know, to play me was a different, you know, that was a different thing for them to take the chance. It was you know, certain people were nervous about, you know, it was so much music, or why would you play a song with just piano? And then 5 years later, I hear, I need you now, I need you now.
Right.
I need you now. I'm like, and then you hear, and then 10 years later, you hear, not 10 years later, but you know, 5 or 6 years later, you hear Kanye brought out he's I'm so sorry, I'm having like a mind
It's okay.
thing.
It's okay.
But he plays piano, and
John Legend.
John Legend. All you hear is this piano and this voice. And I'm like, how dare they? How dare they?
You know, Michael Baisden, he's out of Chicago, right? I could have swore he's out of Chicago.
I don't know where Michael Baisden out of.
Yeah, he's out of Chicago. As a matter of fact, I'm 1,000% sure he's out of Chicago, because I used to listen to his show. You know, and that's the thing. Well, I want to say this, and I hate to cut you off, Miss Griffin. What I want to say this, like, it seems like, and correct me if I'm wrong, maybe you see things differently, but you know, it seemed like when there was a time where you were able to make, you know, you were able to make mature sounding R&B music, and it got radio play. It got radio play along the rap songs that was out. Like, so I don't want to hear about the radio saying there's no format. Like, I remember there was a time where you could hear Music Soul Child, and then you can hear, you know, Jay-Z. So I feel like your talent, that you can fit that in a format. Like, so how do you feel about that? You know, like, what's your take? Maybe I'm tripping.
No, you're not tripping. I learned to have a thick skin and make my music for my fans. I learned that I can pay somebody to work radio, and radio can say that they don't have a slot for me. I learned that program directors may not have as much power as, you know, they might put their job on the line.
Right.
Because they have to do this or they have to play that. So I learned what it was. And I learned, because there wasn't a huge machine, you know, a Clive Davis behind me, that, you know, some people would never hear my music. And then the wonderful internet came along.
Talk about that. Is it, I want to hear, but do you think that that benefit, was it hinder you, or, like, you know, talk about it?
Internet is great. It's great because, you know, people share you.
Exactly.
People share you. But I don't want to be unhappy with what I'm doing. You know, I'm going to stay true to me.
No doubt.
And if the world catches up in time and it locks up and it have, you know, that's great. But I have a great fan base, and I ain't broke, and I still get to do the type of music, you know, that I want to do.
You're successful. You're successful to me. I look at it like this, Miss Griffin. As long as you're doing what you love and you able to take care of yourself and your family, you winning.
Yeah,
you winning.
I have a great life, an absolute great life. I have a great fan base. I can travel. You know, I've gone to Italy. I've gone to London. I've traveled all over the world.
That's
you know,
beautiful.
I before the COVID, I was in Jersey at least once a month. You know, and I get to work in different genres of music. That's the other part.
Right.
This past year, in 2019, I redid the Aretha Franklin "Oh Me Oh My," and someone put me up for to be
That was on
considered.
your last album. You had that on your last album too.
Yeah, and I dropped the video literally as a tribute to her, and her family loved it.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful.
And I've been singing the song, opening up my shows with it for probably 15 years. And I just decided on the last album, I said, on the last CD, I said, I'm gonna record it.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make it one of the last song that I put out on, because I took my time and I dropped different videos from the project.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned about making films with it, because Distant Lover was like a little mini film.
I love that one right there, girl. You hold up. You did it again. You done open Pandora's box. Let's talk about it. Okay. Distant Lover, Marvin Gaye, 1974, off his live album. I'm gonna be honest, no one has attempted to redo that song. So when you came along,
hey, yes, they have. What's his name? Johnny Gill.
Johnny Gill. Oh, he's from my city. Everybody say I look like him too. Johnny Gill. He's from my city too, man. Shout out to Johnny Gill.
Yeah,
okay.
Johnny
Shout out to Johnny Gill. My bad, but let's put it like this. Not a lot of singers have attempted to do that song. So what led you to attempt to do such a classic? And I'm going to be honest, woman, you killed it.
The original engineer on that project sent me a message saying how I nailed it. And I cried like a baby. I remember when I first heard the live version, and I just closed my eyes. I had to pull over. I found a park to pull over in, riding through Hyde Park here in Chicago.
Right.
And often, because I have a condo by the lake,
okay,
I still have my condo, even though I live in Oak Park now.
Okay.
And I heard, ooh, ooh, and you're
from the audience. Yeah.
Yeah.
Washington D.C. By the way, shout out to he from here. He from Washington D.C.
Man, when I heard this screaming, I was like, "Oh my God!"
No
and
doubt.
then I hear him in rare form.
Yeah, he kills it.
And he's talking at the top of it,
Yeah.
So I really based the recording on his live,
right?
Not on the
album version. Yeah, because I believe that song is on the Let's Get It On album.
Yes, it is
the original one.
Yes, the original.
It's from 1973.
And still the live version is Marvin.
The definitive version. We call that the definitive version right there.
Definitive version.
Yeah.
Is Marvin. When you love, you hear him talk. And, and I was like, that's the version I want to do.
No doubt.
So as a woman, I heard the song differently.
Talk about it. About it.
When you're hearing say distant loving, loving, because we're emotional beings, and
no doubt.
And he sung this song like somebody who really missed somebody.
He was yearning.
He was yearning. And he was
yearning for that woman. Yeah.
Very exposed.
Yeah.
And that's how women mostly always are. We're very exposed.
Okay.
And so I heard it differently, Ooh, so many miles away. How I long for you every night. And sometimes I yearn through the day. Just love,
man.
Love. And I had some Aretha Franklin background singers singing my backgrounds. Ooh,
okay. Yeah.
Think about me. Say a prayer for me. That's
when you do that, it's like you have these like I'm a hip hop fan also, and a lot of people who like hip hop, we rewind certain parts of the song, certain parts of the lyric. Like, whoa, that was like when I listen to your music, I listen to your music like people will listen to Rock Kim. Like I rewind these certain vocal gymnastics that you like. It's a like, how do you come up with these? You know, with some of the vocal acrobatics that you display on these songs? Because I tell my fiance, I'm like, yo, listen to this, like listen to this part right here. I'm gonna play it again. Did you see how she took that and then you just play how you play with your voice? It's so amazing, and that's what I'm talking about. You don't just sing a song, you sang it, you take over it, you own it. And shout out to Marvin Gaye. He from DC, born, you know, he from my city, but you put your foot in that song, girl. I'm gonna let you know that.
Wow. When Miss LaBelle, security guard, inboxed me on Instagram and said, Patty said you did that. I was like, wow.
Shout out to Patty.
And you know, that rocked my world because I sang backup with her for a couple of months, and it was
okay.
You know, it was a wonderful, hard experience because you got to sing, you got to bring it, you got to bring this Pat, you know. And I have been used to singing with Jerry Butler on a stool.
Right. Yeah.
Jerry doesn't sweat.
That's the Iceman. Why you think they call him the Iceman?
The Iceman.
The Iceman.
And I learned,
Mr. Western Union man.
Western Union man, send that telegram.
Yeah.
Mr. Butler, because he would come to DC, the Blues Alley, every year.
That's in Northwest.
Valentine's week. Valentine's.
Hold on. Time out. You telling me you came to Blues Alley and I never seen you perform?
For 25 years. Not only that, I came back on my own and performed at Blues Alley, you know. And
you had to let me know next time you come here. I gotta see you live.
Would have been there this year.
Oh my God.
I mean, when I tell you it was so amazing to play that and walk down the alley and see my name, you know, on the, you know, in that alley.
Right.
Blues Alley. Well, the first time I did it, I just cried, you know. The second time I did it, every time I did,
no doubt.
There. And then last year, last year when I was at City Winery in DC.
Okay.
And
West Virginia Avenue. Yep. Know exactly what is it.
So I when I say that, you know, Mr. Butler, let me say, I learned to sing backgrounds in a whole different way with Mr. Butler. Mr. Butler, you had to listen. You had to listen from a different perspective because this is someone who worked with Curtis Mayfield. They grew up together. This is someone who wrote for Your Precious Love. Your Precious Love, yeah. Who also co-wrote Dock of the Bay. You know, so
all those them Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff songs, he co-wrote those songs with those guys.
Absolutely. So when you're sitting there and he sings, "Make it easy on yourself, make it easy," and he would step back from the mic, "on yourself, oh, 'cause breaking up is so very hard to do." And you're in the back going, ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh,
my mom used to love that one. Yeah. My mom used to love that one.
I would be crying. I would be crying, singing backgrounds of the song because this man was so cool and intimate lover. And there's nothing else that you can do. And you sit back there, ooh, don't try to hold my feelings. Just tell me that, and you would come in here, make it easy. Ooh.
Wow.
And he'd be saying, make it, you going, ooh. Because he go, oh, breaking up. And we would go, breaking up. And you wanted to be sweet.
Right.
You wanted to be sweet under there. It's that texture. So when you learn texture, that's another part of music, you know, that a lot of singers don't get. There's texture, there's breath, there's air, there's that part.
Talk about it.
Backgrounds, a background can make or break a song.
No doubt.
And you can have a million backgrounds and not feel anything. or you can have them in the right place, and they evoke something else. And it was knowing when to give it, when to pull it back.
Right.
You know, he would do this, and the drummer would know to break it down. And then, you know, and he would step back from the mic. If the audience was loud, if they had started talking, it was a little bit too much for him, he would step away from the mic. He wouldn't say, look, y'all, be quiet. Because, you know, when I was young, I'd be like, look, I ain't going to fight y'all up in here. You know, Mr. Butler stepped back from the mic.
Yeah.
And he would make you listen. So they had to get quiet.
Okay.
And so these were the techniques that I learned by sitting back there behind him. You know, I learned how to command a mic in a different way. You know, I learned that I could use my voice to really tell the story, you know, in a different way, especially live. You know, here I'm with someone who's this amazing songwriter. And if I wrote a song and I let him hear it and he go, oh, that's slick, kid. I love you. Oh, really, baby, I do. I love you. He's like, now where did that come from? You know, and then he'll say, okay, you I see where you're going with it now. Go on and go back to the board and then I know I have to go back to the board and figure it out in a different way. But it was something that I couldn't pay for, that I was actually getting paid to do. I was getting paid to learn.
Exactly. And
I learned that I never wanted to disappoint him. You know, this man walked me down the aisle when I got married. He gave me away.
Wow. Not many people can say that right there.
You know, his wife died last year, and I did the funeral for him. You know, she and I were very, very close. Family and I are very close. His sister sat next to me. She sang backgrounds, and she sat next to me. You know, they've known me since I was 22 years old. Okay. Maybe 19. And they basically, this mentorship was amazing. You know, it was, as a matter of fact, his drummer knew I was homeless and he took me home with him. So I actually lived with the drummer. Okay. Who was a functioning, you know, addict and alcoholic. But, you know, he noticed before anyone else, he noticed that I didn't have a place to live. And he told me, he said, look, kid, I got to use your bathroom. Pull on over. You say you're in Hyde Park. And I was like, no, sir, we can make it to your house. We can make it to your house. And he was like, no, kid, pull over. I could go to your bathroom. Right. Cried. And he said, you ain't got no house, do you? You ain't got nowhere to go. I said, no, sir, but I'm okay. He said, no, come on, go home with me. I live in a family building. And it took me, you know, 3 months after that. So basically, I was homeless for 6 months. But because they took me in, you know, I had a place to live. And Ira Gates will always, you know, have a special place in my heart because Ira was a famous drummer. Ira Gates was a famous drummer. And his technique on the drums, he said, kid, don't let those drummers outplay you. Just compliment you. And he would do little subtle things back there behind Jerry. When Jerry would sing for your precious love, for your precious love. And then when he break it down, Gates would bam. Then you just hear this silence. He would grab those cymbals. They weren't ringing all over the place. Right. And Jerry, and he'd be sing it, boss. Sing it. He was a cheerleader and the drummer.
So who was the drummer on that on your first two projects? Because that guy is amazing.
You about to make me cry.
That guy is amazing.
He died.
That on You Got Me. Oh my goodness, man.
Kahari.
And what about you? Whew, I'm sorry.
Kahari, it's okay. Kahari passed.
I'm sorry.
Kahari passed. It's okay. We did our last gig in March. He played for George Benson and so many people. And I will miss Kahari so much.
I'm sorry to hear that.
He was an amazing, amazing drummer, gone too soon, 43 years old. This guy he's a metronome with feeling, you know, just amazing. And gosh, I can't say enough about him. He was just truly this wonderful soul to work with. When he would come into the studio, he says, "Okay, Teresa, what we doing?" And then I would, I would walk through the music with him, and and he would say, yeah, okay, I got you, I got you. And I wouldn't have to go through a bunch of, hoopla. I let him hear what I was doing, and he said, "Okay, I know what to do," and as many times as I needed him to play it, and once we got that lock, the magic happened, and I will miss Kahari for forever and ever, because he would have, if he couldn't play the gig, and he was really busy, but recording, I would work around his schedule. I also Ron Walters, who plays with he plays with everybody, but Beth Midler's guy, I can't, but anyway, Ron Walters did a lot of orchestration, strings and stuff. He actually did the lover for me as well. And he also, has worked on multiple projects with me. Craig Bauer has always been in part of my recording and mixing my project. Then I had Danny Leak, who mixed and mastered, who was the sound guy for Stevie Wonder for so many years. So it's hard to finish a project, when all of the people that you had just passed during a COVID. Everybody's asking me, what am I? Man. I was working on a project, and now I'm in the middle of grieving, and I've started back, and I love what we're coming up with, and I just have to find that synergy, so that I can give my audience what's here.
No doubt.
I was walking through the house earlier today, and I started singing this song, and I was like, oh my God. So I had to grab my phone and record, what I was singing. And it was, and I'm like, I'm hurting so much right now. That's what the song was. I'm hurting so much right now. I'm lost without you.
Right.
And really, I'm talking about my music. I'm hurting so much right now. I'm lost without you.
So look. Let's go back a little bit, because I want to touch on these projects. I'm listening to what you're saying. I'm feeling everything that you're saying. It's beautiful. I love how you express yourself, and I hear it in the music. But I want to go to your next project. Soul Sophrenic. I want to make sure I don't mess the word up. Soul Sophrenic, the personality of soul. Now I know
that happened before Revival of Soul. So
I kind of jumped around. I know that. Okay. That came out in 2011. I remember. Yes. That's the project that turned me on to you. I had to go back to Nate. I had to go back.
Really?
Yeah, I told you I was like 5 years late. You dropped that. Naked.
I got you.
Yeah. So you dropped Naked Soul in 2006. I didn't hear about you until 2011. I've been waiting. What we talking about? 9 years for this opportunity to tell you how much I love you and how much I love your music. So one of the songs that really stood out to me was the "You Got Me" song.
You got me, got me heart and soul, baby. Don't you know you got me? And when you call my name, I'm running. There is no shame. Please take me. Don't let me go. Rockmond Dunbar was my.
He was in the. I wanted to talk about that. He was in the video. From Soul Food and the family that prays together, and So how was it? Working with him in that video? Like, how did that?
God. He was so professional and cool.
Okay.
Like mad cool. We after the video, we went to the club and went dancing. That guy is so cool. Rockmond was so cool. We met through my frat brother Randy Crumpton, God rest his soul.
Okay.
Randy was my agent to the stars, I would say. And okay, Michael, you all right? So
yeah, you said you got the babies around you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
but, it was great working with Rahman. There was a scene where I commit suicide or try to.
Yeah, you was in a crazy house.
Floating in the floor. That house was bomb. That's thank you, Stan Stallworth, for letting us use your home.
Okay.
Come here, Michael. Come here. So come here.
I ain't like him in that video.
Rahman.
Yeah. I ain't like what you was going through in that video, man. I want
see, but that's what souls afraid. See, a lot of times women be in their head.
Yeah.
So I have to be honest about women.
Yeah.
You know, in my honesty about, you know, how sometimes the fantasy is in our head. The guy ain't interested in you. He just
he just not.
Okay, but you having a whole damn affair in your head. It was a one night stand or no stand.
Right. And he wasn't a bad guy or nothing like that. But I'm just thinking, I'm like, man, if I had a woman like that, man.
But check it out. He's my therapist.
Right.
My therapist is like, she has a classical sense of soul suffering.
Exactly.
She's crazy, because she's crazy. And she's having this affair.
Right.
I mean, she walking up, she putting fruit in his mouth, and he ain't even there. She crazy.
You was tripping. You was tripping in that video right there. You was tripping.
She crazy. Okay. My husband lives with 5 women. That's everybody since the COVID started, and I'm sorry, let me tell y'all this right quick.
Go ahead.
Since COVID started, I went ahead and let everybody know how hard it is for my husband to live with me. So I introduced them to all the people that he has to live with. And one of them named Hazel, and she's 67, and she cleans the house, and she don't like him at all. As a matter of fact, he constantly tells us that we shouldn't have married his ass. She's crazy. So then there's one of us that likes to wear tutus. Will Down and sent me, he said, look, go on and get some money, get this tutu. She wear tutus all the time. We have a closet full of tutus, about 20 of them. At least it's probably 12 tutus down there. Don't ask me, she crazy. Her name is RDS, the correspondent Kim Onasia. Now, Then there's the wife that he lives with, who tries hard to keep these other fools from messing up her marriage. So there's the wife, and then there's Terisa, who's the artist that he has to live with, who literally would love to do music 24/7.
Right.
And you imagine you living with that, and then the yard boy, because I decide every chance I can that I want to grow something and I want to do yard.
Oh, you got a green thumb?
I almost set up out here in my she shed
to
do the interview, and it's so green you would think you're in a tropical place. So I mean, it's just and I sit there and I have my piece and I write. So my poor husband lives with these people, and you always got to be on the camera. Always, you just can't.
Let's see her. Let her have her cameo. Let her have her moment.
No, Michael Jackson. Come here, Michael Jackson.
Let him have his moment. Let him have his moment.
Michael Jackson, y'all.
Let him have his moment.
See, Gabriel is okay. Gabriel down.
Let him have his moment.
But Michael Jackson,
we got a special cameo. We got a special cameo. What's going on? What's going on, player?
You all right? Well, this one right here, he has kidney problems.
Oh, man.
So we have to give him. He has fluids with the doctor 4 days a week, 3-4 days a week.
Wow.
But he's a drama king, baby.
He's on dialysis. They have dialysis for dogs?
Yes.
Wow.
So he's on fluids to keep him healthy, but he's so much drama because he. Michael, say hi.
What's going on, man? What's going on?
Can I have a
BTG podcast? What's going on?
Now, see, he ain't choking no more now. He was having an old choke moment. Lay on your back and let mommy rub your stomach so you can get through her interview. Okay, can we do that? Are you hungry?
Oh, man.
Michael Jackson on the timer, baby. He's like, look, it's time to eat.
No doubt. He said, man, how long you gonna keep her, man? I'm ready. Hey, I'm not used to somebody keeping her this long. I know we've been chopping it up.
Look, I'm just telling you, just a drama king. So now I'm holding him. Everything
Yeah,
is all right. You know, the
no
whole world
doubt.
is okay. But I'm sorry. So
It's all good.
all of these, I laugh about it, but Soul Sophrenic. Okay, well maybe you all right? Okay. Look, so all of those personalities came out as Soul Sophrenic, and
Okay.
I was really sick, and I wrote Simply Beautiful
Mm,
because I figured no matter what I was going through, whatever life I've had, it's
okay.
been beautiful. And I thought, and I love Earth, Wind, and Fire. So I started writing, look at the way that the sun greets the day, shines in the sky, even when the clouds cry, and look at the way that the birds fly away. They just know winter comes, so they fly where it's warm. Simply beautiful, beautiful. My life is beautiful. Today is beautiful. Simply beautiful. You know, it's because I'm an Earth, Wind, and Fire fan.
Yeah, yeah.
When I had
What's
the
your favorite? What's
opportunity,
your favorite Earth, Wind, and Fire song?
that's
I'm gonna
so
tell you. I'm gonna
hard.
tell you mine.
I'm gonna say Fantasy. I love Fantasy for maybe because it's so flowery.
Yeah.
It's a reflection. You
Right.
know, it's so hard when you go to Earth, Wind, and Fire. But I do love Fantasy. But I also like Boogie Wonderland with the emotions
The
singing in the
emotions.
background.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Boogie Wonderland. Because
yeah,
them lyrics, somebody was high.
yeah,
Somebody
yeah.
was high. Have you listened to the lyrics on Boogie
And that's the
Wonderland?
thing. I listened to that song for years, but then when you finally read the lyrics, you come to find out that it's about, it's about losing yourself, like in drugs.
I chased my vinyl dreams to
Yeah,
Boogie Wonderland.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, the words in
yeah.
the world can't be wrong.
Right, right.
Need to be loved.
Yeah.
You know, need to be loved. I'm like, oh my God. Need to be loved. Records start playing and people start dancing. I mean, it's just the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Boogie
yeah.
Wonderland. Wherever
See,
the hell
mine's is I'll write a song for you on that same album.
oh my God.
On
Yes.
which you just mentioned Fantasy. That's on the same album,
On the
All
same.
in All. Yeah.
Yes. I love got to get you into my life, into my life.
Yeah. The
But
Beatles,
oh my
they
God,
redid the
the
Beatles
whole.
song.
But you know, I do like. Oh, and I holding your body,
Mm,
yeah, touching the body.
mm.
But I do a medley,
Yeah.
and the medley, it starts out with Fantasy, but it also,
Okay.
honey, can you get Michael Jackson? It starts.
So hold up. So that one named Michael Jackson. What's the other one named? Tito?
The other one name is Gabriel.
Gabriel.
So
Okay, my bad.
initially, it was two archangels, Michael and Gabriel.
Okay.
But he wouldn't answer unless she called him Michael Jackson.
Okay.
So, don't
No
ask
doubt, no
me.
doubt. Well, look, hey, I want to ask you. This is another question I always wanted to ask you. Since I got you here, because again, my platform is for me. It's for me. It's therapeutic for me. For me to be able to tell you how I feel about your music and what you bring to the genre of R&B and what you do. But it's also I look at it as me asking all the questions that I want to ask. I'm going to cover everything that the fans want to ask. So and the reason, so it's a little different. My interview is more like a conversation. I don't want to come at you like, I want you to feel comfortable. So I'm just letting you know I'm just very in tune with your music. So with that being said, I notice you're like a very album oriented artist. Your a lot of your albums, they go from, we talking about 14 to 17, 16 tracks. I love it because you're giving me quality. Man, if you was giving me couple of, you was giving me, duds in those. No, but you're giving me quality. So with that being said, like, how important do you feel it is for an artist? Are you for an artist to be able to release a quality body of work compared to just a hot single? You know.
If it's a hot single and it's gonna be a hit, go on and do it. Go ahead and release it. I feel like because my fans wait for a period of time for me to give them what I feel is in my heart.
No doubt.
I feel like for me, the whole body of work, I've always admired Michael Jackson's body of work. When he put a project together, it was a whole, experience. When Thriller was an experience, that album, that was an experience. You go through that whole thing, and
not a bad song on there.
Yeah, when you got Billie Jean, and it's a whole experience. And when I as an artist, when you admire certain people, Lionel Richie, an experience. I love country music.
Okay.
And so they tend to give you an experience as well. When, I was a big Judd fan. The Judds, I love them. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine.
That Winona.
Love can build a bridge.
Yeah.
Don't you think it's time?
I know that one.
And I love Shania Twain too.
Yeah.
Still the one I want.
Yeah.
To,
she's
the
dope.
One that I belong to. You're still the one I want for life. But Dolly Parton, Dolly Parton wrote "I Will Always Love You."
People don't, and it's amazing. I'm not gonna lie. It's, man, I don't know. In my opinion, I think it's just as good as Whitney's. In my opinion.
Oh my God! Let me tell you.
I think it's just as good. Like if you like.
My daddy loved country music.
I like Dolly Parton's version. People crucify me for saying that, but I think you got to hear it, like, because you look Dolly Parton, you look at it, and you know how most of us who love R&B, we for some reason, we don't appreciate other cultures for some reason.
Oh, absolutely.
But if you step back and listen to her version, because she wrote the song, I think you can really appreciate it.
Man, it's a tear in her voice. If I should stay, I'd only be in your way. I'll go. It's so sweet. It
is.
And she would sing it at the end of it was a show called Hee Haw. All the
I remember that it was a comedy, like a comedy, country variety.
Yeah. And they, but if you got on there, people would hear you because it came on every Saturday night,
right?
In the southern, in the southern states. I'm gonna have to. So, do you want to go outside? Is that why you give me all this drunk? So I would.
Hey, you don't mind? I'm about to just pour a little wine. I got my.
Pour your wine because I've been drinking, man.
Yeah, I got a little martini. I said, hey, Miss Griffin. I said, this the grown and sexy for the night. I said, I gotta put I can't be just slacking tonight. With the hip hop artists, it's a little different. But with you, I gotta get spiffy today.
Come on, baby. You look all cute. You look all cute.
I gotta get a little spiffy today. This is different. So I said I gotta come with a different flow tonight. Just let you know that I appreciate what you do.
Now, you pour your wine. We all good. It's okay. But I say it's all good. It's all good.
Got a little martini right here.
Let's say cheers. Cheers to music.
Cheers to great music, and cheers to continuing to make beautiful, great music. So, Miss Griffin, I want to ask this. When I listen to your music, I see a lot of different varieties, in sound. But I always wanted to ask you, like, what do you prefer? Do you prefer the ballads? Do you prefer up tempo? What you like more?
You know what? I just love music. I love good music.
Okay.
I love giving good music. If it's a ballad and I can deliver it, and it doesn't have to be something I wrote. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I love this song Phyllis Hyman did, "Meet Me on the Moon."
That's I love that song.
I heard this song and I had to put it in my show.
Mm-hmm.
Meet me on the moon, soon as you can.
Go on,
in the middle of the sky.
Oh, whew.
You and I riding on a cloud, soft as you please. We can sail upon the breeze to the everlasting moment of love. So if I can deliver that and I can evoke, you know, something from the audience, a tear,
right,
an emotion, a memory, you know, that's great. If I'm doing my song, wonderful. You know, if I'm doing the up-tempo version of Wonderful and it's the house version,
yeah,
I'll
on
talk
that,
about my love is wonderful.
yeah,
Woo!
yeah,
My love is
yeah,
wonderful.
yeah.
I feel good because,
Okay.
you know, it's fun. I love disco. I'm not gonna lie. I love disco. I love house.
Why
So
is it? Why do we have the preference and say that though? Like like disco was great music. Like why do we have to? Like I love disco. I'd like all
disco,
that chicken.
disco is the bomb. I beat you up over Donna Summers.
Man,
You
she was
got
dope.
Donna Summers. Donna Summers had the most people don't even realize the complexity of some of the music that she did.
Mm-mm-mm.
MacArthur's Park.
Oh,
Oh my
that's
God.
probably my favorite one.
You
That's my
know, and it's got all
favorite.
this orchestration in
Yeah.
it. And
Song
then when
about
you
was
get,
10 minutes long.
oh,
Like
is
the
it
original
long?
version, and that one, what Love to Love You Baby, that's like 20 minutes long. Mm. Yeah,
Okay, oh my God. So I don't know why people be hating because the first when you hear it, you can't do that, but you just
exactly.
you go in
Exactly.
and when you listen to uh uh Diana Ross, love, 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 Tony, who was the boss?
The
Fancy
boss.
me.
Yeah, yeah,
Thought I
yeah.
had my degree
That's
in
my
love. You can't help.
I love that song.
You know
She
what I'm
you
saying?
hey Miss Griffin used to sing backup for her. I heard.
I was on Oprah, and
Okay, talk about it. Talk about it.
I was on Oprah Winfrey. I had done, uh, 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 I should say, commercial work, jingle work for Oprah, and I
Okay.
done Get With the Program. They flown me out to LA for the big campaign with Get With the Program,
Okay.
and then the next year she did Run On, and I recorded it for her. So she was, you know, run on, see what the end will be,
Mm.
and then they called me up and said, "Hey, Diana Ross is coming to the studio, and we need some background singers." And I
Whoa.
was like, okay, I'm there. What is the song she's gonna sing? And they told me the song was "Love Conquers All." And I went and I picked it up and I learned it. So when we met her, you know, everybody was saying, don't approach her, don't do this, don't do that. And she walked over to us like she knew us, sat in Jeff Morrow's lap, who Jeff's like one of the top session singers. He worked on Empire and a lot of other stuff, the
Okay.
music of it, the singers. And she was so friendly. And she said, okay, well, let's go over the song. And
Okay.
the musician started playing and she sang the verse. And when it came time for the backgrounds to come in, I was the only one who came in. Only love. She said, only love. I said,
Mm.
only love.
I
She
know
said,
that's
why the rest of
right.
y'all don't know this? You tell them apart. She kept calling me Lil Kim. And they was like, aren't you offended? I said, no,
Yeah.
I said, she can call me Lil Woo Woo. I don't care what she called me, long as she talking to me.
No
So she
doubt.
was talking to me, and then she was like, we're about the same color. Go up there and stand up there where the lights are. You know, because they were putting the lighting for her.
Mm-hmm.
And so the next day, when I came, she said, oh, I like your wig. I said, oh, I like your hair. You know? And she said, if I pass the mic to you, would you be ready? And I was like, oh my God. She said, psych. And then she walked off. So then when she went on
She hit you with
stage,
the okie doke.
you know, so when she went on stage, she turned around
Yeah.
and passed me the mic.
Wow.
And Oprah was like, how does it feel? I just was screaming. I was screaming, you know, only love can conquer all. Only love can break down these walls, you know. it was like, oh my God.
I don't know how much. Hey, Miss Griffin, I don't know how much more I can take. I'm sorry, I don't know how much more I can take, girl. Like you do not know. I'm telling you. I called my lady up earlier today. I said, you don't know how long I've been waiting for this moment. And this woman, like, there's something in your voice. You have this, like, you definitely from Louisiana. Cause I heard about y'all down there. Y'all do.
Well, we
I
got
know you.
jazz. You got to remember, we got the Neville brothers.
Yeah, Alan Toussaint.
Alan Toussaint.
Yeah, I know about. Yeah.
Yeah,
The meters.
A wealth of music.
Yeah.
You know, it's gospel, country, jazz, Jesus.
There we go.
You know,
I know that's right.
And you know, and we love R&B down there. You know, but blues is huge there.
Yeah.
You know, you gonna have Denise LaSalle. I remember when I first heard Betty Wright. Doom, 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 doom. Tonight is the night that you make me your woman. Woo! You say you'll be gentle with me, and I hope you will. Honey, don't play. So you know, when you're getting that kind of process, you don't want to put out something that's ingenuine to your audience or ingenuine to who you are. So
no doubt,
I've had to stay, you know, true to me in my writing and in my production. I don't like singing. I like singing to musicians. I will forever. I'm not going to give up on.
I noticed that.
I love that. It's something powerful about someone being able to play, you know, that piano for you.
Yes.
Somebody, that drummer playing, the percussionist, putting those
about it,
adding that. It's something about the organ, you know. It's something about all of that when it comes to R&B, you know, that we walked away from for whatever reason. I don't understand it, but it's something powerful about it. When you go back and you hear daydreaming and I'm thinking of you, daydreaming and I'm thinking of you, daydreaming and I'm thinking of you. Look at my life floating away. You got a guy that'll say, you hear that music. You hear,
girl. Yeah.
And why I give up when you hear Marvin Gaye, oh, na, na, na. You hear that band.
Yes.
The sound of Mozart.
Yes.
Why?
That's Ed Townsend on the piano.
Come on. Why would you walk away from that? Why do you walk away from that? And I don't get it. Why. I know why.
Cost effective.
It changed because they took music out of school. And so kids had to find a way to create, so they sampled. You know, and so we got away from training our children to music, to them saying, well, we programmed and you stole this and you stole that and you put it together, and now you got to pay for those samples because somebody else played it and it's somebody else's stuff, and you're genius enough to be able to create something from that, but you did not write that.
You didn't write, exactly.
You know,
I agree.
You're creative, and that's like the Bible says: if you don't praise the Lord, the babies will cry out. You know, the rocks will cry out.
Right.
So they had to find a way to express. You know, so it's kind of it's a nation that walked away from something that they needed to keep as an emotional outlet for our kids.
Right.
And because they got away from it, we have a world of angry children. You know, you take the art out of school, you take the ability to be emotional and have an emotional outlet away from our kids. They need band, they need choir, you know, they need art classes. They need it because that's a form of expression. And you take that away from them and you give them a computer and you've taken away their ability to create. And now they've got to find a way to create. And the only way they can do it is sample this and sample that. And I'm not against them being able to do it, but you ought to know what a half note is. You need to know what a quarter note is. You need to know what a rest is. You need to understand that there's a respect in it that happens, you know, when you create. And that very musician that you're sampling can come and play that song.
Exactly.
So
you know what, Ms. Griffin?
You took a job away from somebody. you
See,
know,
what I'm
and that's not fair.
what I'm noticing, and as I deal with a lot of these guys in hip hop, what I'm noticing, and I hate to say this, but I don't feel like a lot of these guys appreciate R&B. I don't feel like these guys appreciate the music that they're sampling. I've witnessed and producer, literally listen to a Larry Graham, Graham Central Station track. He listened to the part that he wanted and just disregarded the rest. But at the same time, you want people to respect what you do. You're taking from them, and you're not paying homage. You're not acknowledging the blood, the sweat, the tears, the pain that goes into these artists singing, these artists playing these amazing guitar riffs, these drum licks, and and that's one of the things why, to me, you're special. That's why you're special to me, because to piggyback off what you just said, when I listen to your music and your body of work, there's always live instrumentation, and that's very rare. That's very rare. I know it's easy for you to just find some music programmer or whatever and get some, drum programming, but I love how you don't compromise your artistic integrity when it comes to making these amazing bodies of work. So how has it ever came a time when you look at it like, wow, these guys are doing this and I'm doing this, and I'm gonna be honest, Miss Griffin, your music is just so much, it's top tier. It's just like, you should be getting, in my world, you reign supreme in my world. Oh. And when I'm listening to a lot of these albums, I'm like, why don't I connect to these albums that's winning Grammys? Like, listen, I don't want to poo-poo all over, artists or whatever, because everybody, they work hard.
I think that they're doing.
But what you do is just, you go the extra mile to bring in the listener, and you bring in people like me who, I wasn't born, and I wasn't like, I'm young. I'm a young cat. I'm only 40. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But I can appreciate that type of music, and it connects to me. Your voice, just your ideas, the songwriting is something magical that you have. And where does that come from? Where do you get? What inspires you?
I can only be who I am. I'm very comfortable in my own skin.
I see.
I have an appreciation for Ella Fitzgerald and Sarah Vaughan. I'm good when I listen to Nina Simone,
Dinah Washington, don't forget her.
And Dinah Washington, oh my God. I love What a Difference a Day Made. 24 little hours. What the sun or the flowers where there used to be rain. My yesterday was blue, dear. Now I'm a part of you, dear. My lonely nights are through, dear. Since you said you were mine. Lord, what a difference a day makes. But I also love Sarah Vaughan. The midnight sun will never set. So how can a romance be true? For it was in the air, the glow. I mean, these women sang. And so to dismiss those whose backs I walked on. I love Eartha Kitt. Prim and proper. The girl who's never been kissed. Well, I'm tired of being pure and no face. Like water that 6 is 11.
Yeah.
I want to go to the devil. I want to be real.
Yeah.
Gotta understand, some of these people don't even know who these women were really.
And that's a shame. That's a shame.
We've got to understand that
witchcraft. That's my
come on. I like when Nina Simone said Mississippi, goddamn, you gotta understand this is who
Yeah,
suffered
yeah.
for you to say, well, that's old time music, and they, but this is what. Hold on, wait a minute. A real musician is never not going to work.
Facts.
They're gonna work at church.
Facts.
Somebody gonna hire them some kind of way.
No doubt.
I believe that real music doesn't go out of style. I want an album that you can play 40 years from now, 50 years from now, 60 years from now,
make it so.
70 years from now, and people say it sounds great. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Because I haven't sold my soul for fame. I'm okay because what I leave won't die. And because of that, I have to stay true to me, even in house. If anybody listens to my house stuff, there's music there. When I work with Terry Hunter.
Yeah, talk about that. Talk about that project, because you went. I was surprised. Like that would introduce me to you, but then next thing you know, you put out this and don't mind you. I like Robin.
2 CDs. It was Personalities of Soul and Soul Sophrenic Dance.
Okay.
So the dance CD.
Yeah. What inspired you to put out that, like, because you came with, like that first side, man, was just so soulful, and then but I like it. So what inspired you to do the dance, the house music vibe,
Well, because I had already done Sunshine, and then Frankie Knuckles did a director's cut of Sunshine for me, God rest his soul.
Okay.
And he was a godfather of house, Frankie was. Right. And so I had great success with Wonderful. So I was like, I'm going to do a double CD because I have 2 audiences that I have to appease. And and it was, those songs were in me, Terry, I went in and I had the whole band, Kahari, right. At the time, I think it was Juwan was on bass. No, was it Fitzgerald? Whoever was on bass. But we went in and I was like, I got a cigar. And I was like, okay, guys, I'm going to smoke the cigar because it makes my voice deeper. And I'm going to cut this song.
Lou Rawls used to do that.
Yeah.
He was also out of Chicago, by the way.
Yes, he was. He was a very cool guy. I met him like 2 or 3 times with Jerry, because he and Jerry were friends.
Right.
And but I went in, I smoked my cigar, and I said, now Kahari, yes, it's gonna be very sexy. And I was like, so I want you guys to just hear me out. And I just went in, I was like, they put the metronome on, so I have my beat. Let me hear you say the word.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Why are you gonna make me beg? Didn't you hear the words I said? Got so much love for you. And they was like, oh, I think you really know it's true. As wonderful as I can be. They were like, oh my God. So then Kahari starts playing the drums,
Right.
And I was like, the bass line, it's got to be just constant. And I was like, can you play 3 notes constant? And he was like, okay. I said, and you're gonna hear when I change. When I change, you got to go down. The next change, I'm gonna go up. And that's how we cut it. And Terry's sitting on the other side. He's like, this is madness. She's crazy. He's like, I'm loving this, because I've got a room full of musicians and I'm making a house CD. And I just turned all of this stuff over to him, because when I did the song, Something About the Way You Feel Is Music, and they were like, oh my God, so she's, and I'm like, I'm just going to go down. I just wrote all of these songs. Right. And I just went in and I was like, guys, well, I'm just going to cut these songs, and I'm going to cut about 7 or 8 of them today. Right. And I was like, and this is, so just bear with me. One song was just me singing. I'd gone to South Africa, and I wanted to pay homage. We've lost our language in slavery. We've lost they're fortunate in the fact that people in Africa speak maybe 3 or 4 different languages. Right. Here we came here and we only speak one, and it's not our language, it's English, but it's exactly. Language it's what we've inherited. Right. And right. I was like, you know what? I'm going to just na 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 yeah. I said, I'm gonna get in touch with who I am. I'm gonna create my own language from my soul, because I know we were ripped from our soul, ripped from our soil.
I felt that, man. I felt that. I'm not going, like, when I heard that project, it was a shift. And I was like, oh man, like, I'm so used to this. I like, because again, I heard, you know, this your second project. Then I went back to Naked Soul. So I'm just like, man, I can just take more of this. Like, I'm good. Just keep making. And then you came with this. I was like, man, what? But then as I started listening to it, and I realized your voice is still beautiful, and you're able to flow through all these different melodies and different production. And it just got me to be able to appreciate, because I like Robin S. and I like a lot of the great house music that, you know, so you know, I'm able to, Lisa Stansfield and all those guys. So I'm able to appreciate that. But I'm not gonna lie, it caught me off guard. I'll say that. It caught me off guard.
I know you was like, wait a minute, what's going on?
Yeah, because I was like, maybe this is what I was thinking. We talk about 2011, 2012. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, maybe she's abandoning what I love from her, because maybe she don't feel like this is working, and now this is what she's doing. And that was that was the fan.
I understand.
That was the fan in me. But when I hear it, like I loved it, and I to this day I love it. I still listen to it. You know, I love that project. So
it was a double project, and I had to do it because I had, you know, this major thing with Wonderful and Sunshine, and it was on the house side.
Okay.
And so I had to appease two audiences. So I ended up, you know, Soul Sophrenic Personalities of Soul, and then Soul Sophrenic Dance. They came out at the same time.
At the same time, right? I remember.
And people were like, okay, I know that some people were like, I don't know, because people who didn't know that side of me.
That was me. I didn't know.
Like, what is going on here?
Yeah, I was like, what's going on, man?
Some of them wrote like, oh, wait a minute, because I don't know about this here. And I'm like, it's okay. Just pick up the Personalities of Soul. You'll be all right.
Because I'm thinking that you're going to abandon. Like, I was worried that you were going to abandon what I love about you, because you went all in. Like, when you did that, you went all in.
It's a whole separate CD.
A whole
dance. The whole CD is dance.
Yeah.
And then Soul is a whole CD of R&B.
Right.
And some people were really confused because we didn't package it together.
Right.
We packaged it as two separate CDs.
Right.
So had I did, you know, double packaging, you know, with the double CD, then people probably would have kind of gotten it. But I wasn't, you know, I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna try.
Right.
Leave it separate, because, you know, I didn't know. I wanted to appease two different audiences that I worked with.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did.
So I'm glad. I'm really happy I did it. But I want to take you a little further back. My very first project was called Songbird.
Now I don't know about that one right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to send that to you.
Please
find you a copy. And it was. I wrote a song for my dad. My dad had passed, and it ended up being in the first movie, the movie that Hill Harper directed, and it's called "I Can't Stop Loving You."
Okay.
And they put the song in the movie. As a matter of fact, Randy Crumpton, who wrote it, wrote me in as a character under my name, Terisa Griffin. And sometimes during Black History, most of the time they play the movie.
Right.
I play the best friend and my name is Terisa Griffin in the movie.
That's right. Okay.
And Hill was like, why are you casting her? You know, why do you want me to cast her, you know, in this? And he was like, so he met me and he was like, oh, okay, I get it. You know, he's like, yeah, you act like this character. You're, right. You know, I'm the picky singer at the restaurant, you know, that basically take this out, take that out.
Right.
You know, I'm that person, but I'm also the endearing friend that says, you need to tell your husband what's going on. You know, I'm keep it real person. And then at the end of the movie, when my girlfriend dies, because she wasn't telling her husband that she had terminal cancer. Everybody else thinking she's having an affair. So it had that twist, and Hill Harper did a great job with directing it, you know, because he put that twist in there. Okay. And then they forced me to sing this song over and over again that I rarely perform it because I break down crying so much, but it's I knew it come. I love would end this way. I never thought it'd be this hard to walk away. Tears like diamonds fall from my eyes. Within my heart a sea of pain. I cried. It's all because I still love you. My heart says that it's never too late. I'm still loving you with every single breath I take. I'm still loving you, Daddy. And even when time is erased, my heart is lost without you, baby. And I can't stop loving you. And Billy Beck from Ohio Players played piano. And
yeah, that's the piano player. Yeah, from Dayton.
Yeah. So yeah. I am
he does gospel music, I believe now.
He does.
He does gospel music.
Wow, that man could play.
Yeah, he's dope.
Beck and Steve
he was the falsetto in the Ohio Players.
Yes. And the most wonderful person to co-write this song with. The most wonderful person to co-write this song with.
Hold up. It just hit me. You co-wrote that song with him?
Yeah, I brought it to them.
Wow.
I sang it down just like I just sang it. And then
I gotta stop you for a second. A lot of people don't know that he also co-wrote As We Lay for Shirley Murdoch.
As We Lay, yes, right. We forgot about the price.
He co-wrote that with Roger Troutman.
That's right.
No, finish. I'm sorry. Please.
What?
Can you finish that? I'm sorry. Can you finish?
As we lay, didn't think about the price we had to pay. No. It's morning. Sunlight shines across your sleeping face. Oh no. A new day brings reality, and we must go out. Separate away. You're so crazy.
Oh, you're bringing up some legendary people, and I factor you in with them. Like, to me, you are a legend. Don't mention me about platinum plaques and numbers and all that. Terisa Griffin, she stands alone on Mount Rushmore when it comes to vocalists.
Thank you. You made my night. You made my Thanksgiving. You really have. I really thank you. I really thank you.
I'm being honest. That's how
sure
I
God
feel.
wanted me to understand,
I get it. I get what you do. A lot of other people, they get it too. I'm not by myself. I'm not by myself in the Miss Griffin fan club, but I get it. Like, it connects. You talk to me like when I'm having issues understanding like my woman, and because I always felt like I'm different from a lot of guys as far as like I always wanted to. We grew up in a time where there was a balance as far as music. You had the Gerald Leverts and the just great male singers and the great female singers, and there was a balance. And I'm from that era, so I feel like the music that you put out, it conveys a message where men can be able to tap into their emotions with their women. And
wow,
you show that you allow men to just be you. I feel vulnerable. Like, I can't, even if I'm fighting it, like if I'm fighting it, I'm like, man, I don't want to feel this way. You listen to a song like What About You? Listen to the whole song. What you can hold on to all that male masculinity and whatever. It's going to break your ass down. It's going to break you down. And it's going to reveal who you are and what you're going through and how you should be able to connect with not only yourself, but with your partner. And I love that about you.
Wow. Thank you. Let me tell you, the kid, Romeo Ville, that's who wrote, he played every instrument on that song. His name is Romeo Ville. He's a mad scientist. When I went over and we started working on the song, I sung it to him. Okay. And I was like, it took some time to realize I was so great. 1,000 no's and you don't give in to those who hate. Afraid of what I would mean if I should succeed. Reveal the lie, dig deep inside and try to believe. Have you ever wondered why people criticize? It is their fear of what they have deep inside. Don't let them steal your joy with labels and names. It is the difference in you that wins the game. See, I like what I see. What about you? And he was like, okay, I got you. And I love him. So he's amazing.
Sorry, man. Yo, it's like an arrow straight to my heart. I swear, I feel like I'm dreaming right now. I know I'm supposed to be in interview mode and everything, and I'm trying to hold up this certain level of decorum and professionalism.
We're two human beings having a great moment, so that's all we're thinking about. So
No. That's clear. No, what I'm saying, that's what your music. That's what your music. I'm thinking that your music has this effect. I can't help it. That's what the music, and it's just so beautiful. There's so many dynamics, so many factors that just goes into it. And I feel like I don't care how hard you are, if you just take the time to just listen to your music, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. If you're having issues with your lady, you don't understand what your woman is going through. If you don't even understand sometimes what you as a man, because I believe that your music speaks to us as men, like you letting us know like how you feel. And we need to tighten up sometimes as men. Certain times, man, like I look at myself and I got a beautiful fiance. She's great, but I'm not perfect. There's areas, man, that I have to look at myself and like, man, you tighten up a little bit. Tighten up a little bit. I love you, baby, but tighten up a little bit. And I thank you for being able to display and show those emotions. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta let me just one more time.
Come on, that's right. Come on, you and me.
Let me one more time. And I told myself if I ever get her on it, I told you, I said if I ever get a platform where I can meet her, I'm gonna tell her that. I'm not gonna hold back.
Thank you.
Here we go.
Cheers, darling.
There we go. Appreciate that. And I love how you do it. It's so effortless. And I feel like some artists are made, some artists are created. I feel like this is who you are. This is just who you are. Like I follow you on Instagram. I see you cooking, and I'll be checking you out, and as a, see what you're doing, because I like to, before I interview somebody, I like to do my homework. And like I said, I've been following you, but I look at you and I realize like this is who she is. Like, what you hear in her music, this is not a character. This is who she is.
This is me. I'm on Facebook probably way more. I post a lot of pictures on Instagram.
Okay.
But I spend a lot more time on Facebook for some odd reason. I don't know what it is. Instagram, it's odd for me. I love it, but it's still different. I like posting pictures on Instagram. I do a quick little snap, but I spend a lot of time on my live on Facebook because a lot of grown people.
Let's just say it. A lot of older, mature, yeah,
are on Facebook, and
that's what it is.
And they can navigate a little bit better over there. And when I say y'all on Instagram, baby, we don't have no Instagram account. I'm like, okay, it might be a little too much for y'all. So when and since I'm a big picture poster, Instagram is less work. I just post a picture or a video. I can always take some clips of some live footage,
Right, yeah.
and share it, and people are gonna really watch it. You know, they're gonna look at that. I was telling somebody else I'm gonna have to hire me a publicist, and
I could have swore you had one.
you know what?
I could have swore you had one. The way you navigate, like when I look at you, you're like so professional. You know, I love the way you move. You know,
I have great. You know, at times I do hire, you know, a publicist to do certain things. But I'm looking for one of them young folks that want a job and they really enjoy social media.
Right.
That's what I'm looking for right now. If I find one of those, I'm gonna hire them and just let them do their thing. I've got more than enough stuff for them to do, but Facebook is easy for me. I just tap the button, go live. They're there. They're like, okay, what you cooking?
Right.
What you doing? Like when we get off tonight, I'm gonna go on Facebook. I'm gonna turn my camera on. If I turn this,
I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there.
Okay, look, you know, when I turn this camera around the opposite way, my entire kitchen is now a studio. It brings lights and cameras everywhere. So I'm gonna basically go on and I'm gonna start cooking and I'm gonna talk about, you know, how we had the experience back in the day of cooking with our grandmothers and the experience of cooking with your mom.
Okay.
You know, I want to take them to that moment where on the night before Thanksgiving.
Right. Yeah.
So your kitchen, your family is going to bed for the most part.
Yeah.
But you're in the kitchen and you're cooking
because
in the day, you big mom about to serve it up. You know,
no doubt.
And that's the moment we're gonna have, you know, tonight.
And that's why I appreciate you being here, because I know it's the day before Thanksgiving. And you know, I gotta let the fans know, let the audience know, like this woman took time out of her busy schedule, out of whatever the many great things that she do to sit down and talk with me. So I'm humble. I'm honored.
My pleasure.
And I don't want to waste your time. I said if I get you on here, I'm not gonna waste. I told you in the tech when we talk, I said I'm not gonna waste your time. I didn't come over here to just talk about a bunch of BS. Like I wanna really talk and get a chance to know you, and I want the people to know you, because I feel like, again, you are a special artist. You are a one-of-a-kind artist, and there's so many dimensions to you. When I it's not just the music, but who you are as a woman, you know.
Well, let me say that my biggest my greatest accomplishment has been my not-for-profit. It's called Better Love Yourself.
Talk about it.
And my fans, it's fan driven. My fans raise money. My husband does a lot of philanthropic work. He used to raise a lot of money. He was with the 100 Black Men. As a matter of fact, he was a founder of 100 Black Men in Chicago. Wow. And we do a lot of not-for-profit work, but Better Love Yourself is an organization that helps kids go to college. And what we do is every year we give them foot lockers with their comforter sheets, towels, backpacks, computers, different, you know, stuff to go off to college. Their garbage cans, their toothbrush, their toothpaste, peroxide, detergent. I mean, the whole gamut.
Yeah,
we really want them to know that we love them. Their pillow, you know. We put this in a those old Seawood Mercury luggage comfort foot lockers.
Okay.
And they have a choice. We have the Sterilite plastic ones that come in pink and purple and all the other colors, you know, because kids like things that are, you know, different. And so and this year, because of the COVID, we gave out laptops because we knew a lot of kids would be at home, and people thought we weren't going to do the event, but I somehow managed to do it and still have the kids come and show up because I think they got cheated. You know, these kids got cheated out of their graduations and everything. So Better Love Yourself also gives them information about, you know, safe sex. We try to play and act like our kids ain't screwing, but they doing it, and asking them to really look at why they're doing it. You know, what about self-love? You know, respecting yourself. You know, you don't want to have sex with everybody you meet. You know, what is this you're feeling? What is this loneliness?
Right,
You know,
right, right.
and be prepared, because when you go to college, there's a lot of pressure. If you think high school was pressure, here's a whole nother level of pressure,
No
and
doubt.
there's a whole other level of loneliness. And you're away from your parents now, so that barometer is you know, somebody's not there to check you every 5 minutes.
Right.
So now you check yourself,
Mm.
and also, you know, just reminding them that we're here for them, that they are special, that they are loved, and this organization, we've been doing this, oh my God, for 14 years now.
Okay.
And it's fan driven, and we go Chicago, St. Louis, Cleveland, Monroe, Memphis, Houston, DC. We're going to DC next year. Well, the plan is to go next year. We've gone to Philadelphia.
Okay.
Gosh, we've had such success with the organization, and Atlanta
That's
is a
beautiful.
part of our thing now. And
Okay.
I really, you know, it's been so wonderful to be able to give back. And
Mm.
so if someone asked me what's my greatest accomplishment, I would say helping those kids
Okay.
go off to college. It's strange when you go and perform at a university and some
Mm.
kid, Miss Griffin, Miss Griffin, Miss Griffin. I'm like, stop that. I'm Teresa today. Stop it. Miss Griffin, I got my
Right,
trunk
right.
in my room. It's so cute. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
they say, oh, Miss Griffin, you on campus? Because I give them all my cell phone number. And they'll text me, Miss Griffin, you on our campus? And I'm like, yes, I'm here. Are you staying on the campus? Are you what hotel you at? And I tell them what hotel, and then they come
Right,
get me at
right,
the hotel. And it's a great thing, you know,
right,
to understand, you know, some people don't want to meet who they're helping, but you got to understand that
right, right.
we're all just human beings, and everyone
Exactly.
needs to be nurtured and
Exactly.
loved. And what if Jerry had been that way with me? That would have been so sad, you know.
Exactly.
And he wasn't that way with me. He gave me full access, and I
Mm.
want to give them as much access as possible. So I give all the kids my phone numbers, and so I have about 5,000 kids that be hitting me up. It's just, and they text all hours of the night. And sometimes I answer. Somebody was like, "Are you on Facebook? Why you don't never be off of Facebook?" I said, "Let me just be honest. I'm in bed. I
Right.
just don't log out. I don't log
Yeah.
out. Why you watching? Why you care? Why you in my business?" Because the kids are sending me messages all the time, and they're
Right, right.
texting, or they're Facebooking me, or they're Instagramming me, and that is such a rich part of my life, and I'm so
Mm-hmm.
grateful that I've been able to use whatever fame I have to help them become viable human beings in this
Okay.
world.
That's beautiful. I love how you know, when as I'm talking to you, I realize, like, you know, just like your music, you're very authentic. So my question to you, like, how do you ever find it, like, you know, is it kind of hard at times, like, you know, not compromising yourself, because you see you're around a lot of big names, you're a lot of big personalities, and do you ever feel like, has there ever been a time where, like, some of that has rubbed off on you, like, you know, how what do you, where do you go to stay grounded, so to speak, you know?
That's easy.
How do you stay grounded?
I pick up garbage around my house every day. We live on a busy corner. When I walk the dogs, I go out there with my gloves on and I pick up
Right.
garbage
Okay.
all the way around my house. I plant. I'm very clear that this universe is vast.
Mm.
It is huge, and I am a very, very small part of this universe,
Mm.
and because of that, I have no right to think that I'm better than somebody else.
Mm.
You know, I want my actions to always be a loving representation. You know, we all fall short and we all have bad days.
No doubt.
But
No doubt.
I want my good days to outweigh my bad days in my actions.
Mm-hmm.
And so my father was very clear to us that, you know, no man is greater than any other man.
That's true.
You know, we're all just here trying to figure it out. And the minute you get to thinking that you're better than somebody else, that bridge will fall down. That's a dangerous bridge to even be on. You know, to think that you're better than someone else. I think it causes problems when people walk around thinking they better than somebody else. You know, you're a problem. You got issues. Just go deal with your issues. Why do you need to be better than somebody else? What's wrong with you? You know, if you're tired, you just tell your fans, you know what? I'm so tired. I just need to get a little rest.
That's it. That's it.
Can I catch you next time? I mean, I'm at the grocery store and people stop me all the time. And I know one lady one day, she was like, "You look like Terisa Griffin." I said, "I can't stand her." She said,
"No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Hell nah."
Like, she's my favorite singer. I know you look y'all. Maybe you don't look like her. You know, she was salty. And so I got to the counter and the lady happened to come behind me, and she was in the line behind me. Yeah. And she was looking at me, you know, she was giving me that evil eye. And then I go there so much. The lady behind the counter said, "Hey, Miss Griffin, how you doing?" I said, "I'm fine. How you doing?" She said, "I knew it was you. I knew it was you." And I said, "Well, why you
do that woman like that? Why you do her like that?"
You know what? Because I was looking toe up that day, and I just asked me for a picture, and she did. She said, "I knew it was you." I said, she said, "Miss Griffin, please can I get this picture?" I said, "I look so toe up." I said, "I tell you what," I said, "I'm gonna give you this picture, but can you please promise me that you won't post this picture?
You won't post it.
Not post this picture." And she was like, "Miss Griffin, please come on." I said, "Well, hold on." And I said, "Y'all, I'm sorry. I'm holding up the line." I pulled some lipstick out, put the lipstick on my lip.
Oh, that was
and
sweet.
It's one of those rare days. I know I always have no lip gloss, but I just ran to the store right quick. And I be dressed crazy because my husband be laughing. He said, "You going out the house looking like that?"
I be saying
I might put on some rubber rain boots or something.
Hey, women, y'all be killing me when my fiance be doing the same craziness, man. I be like, "Baby, come on, man. Why are you putting those boots on? It's summertime. Like, what are you doing?" I'm sorry.
Look,
that was a flashback moment for me. But go ahead.
No, it's okay. I love rain boots, and I have them in so many different colors. I'm just a lunatic for them. And and Uggs is my other thing. So
oh my goodness, I can't stand. She loves though. I can't stand them Ugg boots.
High five to you, girl. High five.
Yeah. Shout out to my baby Tish, man. She's a fan of you also.
Tish, wear them Uggs, Tish. Wear them Uggs. So it just happened to be one of those days. I didn't look bad, ugly, but it wasn't a picture day.
Yeah.
I stopped. I put the lipstick on. I took the picture, and I thanked her, because she was mad. She said, "I was mad at you because you was talking about my favorite singer." Because I talked about myself. I said, "She
right.
Her cleavage and this, that, and the other." She was like, "Ooh, I don't like you." And it was so funny because, once she was like, "I knew it was you." And I'm like, "I know." And I'm like, "And I'm sorry." I'm like, I really was just messing with her, but she posted the picture and she was like, she said, my favorite singer was in the grocery store. And so we always need to be prepared that along with this life comes a responsibility.
No doubt.
You want people to buy your tickets. You want them to support you. Mm-hmm. So you have to be humble and you have to be decent. And even if you're not feeling well, now it's been times I just was sick and, I was like, "Please, I'm so sorry. I'm so sick today."
Right.
Miss Griffin, you need some help because they're kind. You need some help. I understand. I ain't gonna bother you. You need some help getting out to the car. And I'm like, I don't mind the help. They helped me put the bags in the car. I've had fans be really, really nice to me.
Right.
And I get that, we're special to them because we have touched them in a very special way. And they just want to be close to you. They want you to know, that they love you. And so we have a responsibility to them, to these people who have made our lives so plush and beautiful and wonderful. We have a responsibility to be decent human beings.
Right.
Because that's all it takes. And when I say decent, that doesn't mean every time you see somebody you have to take a picture. But
I get it.
You can speak. You can be decent. You can say hello. You can say, "Hey, I'm tired today. I had a rough day. They be like, for real? I'm like, yes, I had to do
Right,
this.
right.
I'll stand there and tell them, I had to do this, and that. Now I got to go home and cook for my husband. I'm so worn out and I got a headache. They're like,
Right.
Miss Griffin, I hope you feel better. I'm like, I do too. And, and I'm gone and I'm done with it. They want you to be decent. So I say to every star that's busy as hell, this comes with it. And now that doesn't mean that some people aren't irate and crazy. Some people just go too far with it and you want to sock them in the head. I'm not talking about that.
Well, look, hey, Miss Griffin, I hear you loud and clear, and I want you to know, like us as fans, we do appreciate you, and I gotta, I totally agree with you as what you're saying. Like you guys are humans, music is your job. This is what you do, but you have a life outside of music. So, I do want the fans and the audience, whoever's, who's ever tuned in when I drop this, realize that Mrs. Griffin is a real person. She's just not some robot that just goes in the studio and make these classics and then she's gone and she goes away into some closet and then she comes out and make music. Like, you're a real person. You have a very lively, bubbly personality, a family, husband, family, so and that's one of the things, we gotta I feel that we have to understand as fans, and I love that about
but don't stop speaking to me because I'm good with it.
No, yeah, exactly. So she's still good, but sometimes realize she's human just like we are. There's times that I might not feel like picking up the phone this day. I might not feel like, I think it's just about the way that how you go about talking to this person, or just let them know how you feel, at the end of the day, as long as you're not disrespectful, I feel like you're good. If I see you in a grocery store and I can tell by the energy, like someone like myself, I can just tell by the energy, that's why I've never really been the type of person like that just run up on people, to get autographs, because I don't know, I'm good enough.
You know what? No, I'm okay with
like I saw her. I saw Terisa Griffin. I'm good. Like, I'm good. That's good enough for me. I don't really need her autograph. I got her music. I saw her. Like, let her be.
I want them to understand it's okay. It's okay. Really okay. I learned that from Jerry when we walk through the airport. Every time we go to the airport, he would walk the entire time he was going down the terminal. They were like, "Hey, Mr. Butler." He's like, "Good morning." "Hey, Mr. Butler, good morning." "Hello, Commissioner Butler, good morning." He just walked through the airport and people would speak and he kept that decorum. I never saw him out of character with that. That's who he was. And I learned early on that you have a responsibility, and you have the respect of people who love you.
Right. No
they
doubt.
love you. And some people walk up to him, he do an autograph, and he keep walking. Or if he was in a hurry, he say, "I gotta make this plane this time, but catch me next time."
Catch you next time.
So it's because we were always in that terminal. We were always going.
Right.
So, and I'm talking employees, who saw him all the time on the regular, Mr. Butler, and so I want that. I want to always be that artist that you can approach. That if you are approachable enough, they'll leave you alone, because
that's true. That's true.
You'll have a rapport, and they'll say, "Oh, there she is. Hey, Teresa, how you doing?" And it's good morning, because now I'm a part of your world. I'm a part of your world. You're a part of my world, and we can speak and say hello because we're neighbors. And when you see me on stage, you can love me and they'll say, "I'm going to her concert because she got a concert coming up." They will love you and support you. That's how I came to Chicago and created a life for myself. Right. Because I completely understand. And no matter where I go, I understand that I have a responsibility to those people who have taken care of me.
Beautiful.
And every artist needs to understand that you have a responsibility to the people who are taking care of you. Be decent, be kind.
No doubt. One of the, I want to get off this subject, but let me just say this one thing. Like, I say one of the most damaging things that an artist may not know is when you meet an artist, and that artist, like, I've met artists before, and the response I've got them, or the personality that I, you know, what I receive from them, it just turned me off to their music. Like like you can lose a fan.
Yeah.
You can literally lose a fan by the way you display a certain character trait when you meet them, because you lose, like, people don't understand music, and this is why I connect with you and what you do. It's a feeling. Your music is a feeling. This
Right.
you can, I like someone like myself. I'm sorry, it's hard for me to compartmentalize music. Like, if I know that you're a scumbag, I can't. The music doesn't sound the same to me.
Oh no,
It just doesn't. It just doesn't. Like, if I hear about these things, hey, I can get the benefit of the doubt. But when I experience it and when I see, like, I've dealt with certain artists. Like, I've been doing this, you know, I've dealt with about 30 artists, and I've dealt with certain artists, and I just can't listen to their music no more because of what I have experienced with them. So, to make a long story short, it's very refreshing to have artists like you that still realize the importance of artist to consumer relationships. You know, I love that. I appreciate that about you.
Thank you very much, baby.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Well, look, I want to go to something else. I want to touch on this. I know we've been talking for a mile for a minute now, and I'm gonna wrap it up. You know, but I always wanted to ask you about your time on American Idol. I'm not American Idol.
Oh, the voice.
I'm sorry, with CeeLo and Christina Aguilera, and you know, and you know me, I'm a diehard fan. I'm biased, but I felt like you know, I felt that you was like the best, the best contestants on it, hands down. But can you just tell me your experience? I remember you being on you know, you was on team. What's the guy name? The country singer, Blake Shelton. Blake Shelton. How was that experience? If you know. And what led you to that? What led you to going on The Voice?
Well, first of all, my charity, I needed to do my not-for-profit work, and by the time they called me to go for the audition, now understand, they took all the younger people first, and I had a producer call, so I didn't go and stand in these long lines or anything. I had a producer call, and so the first phase of it, this is a long process before you ever get to where they turning the chairs around. So when we got to that point, they sequestered us in the Sheraton Hotel, and they moved us from the Marriott that we'd been living in for about 3 months over to the Sheraton Hotel. And then we stayed there with no phones or any way to contact anybody, and waiting for them to call us over. Yeah, it was a crazy process, waiting for them to call us over to perform. And we would, by the time I came, I couldn't get 4 chairs because only 2 chairs were left. They had all the teams were full. So I probably thought I would have gone with an Adam Levine, you know, but he couldn't turn around for me, and neither could CeeLo, because their chairs were already, you know, their teams were already full. So the only 2 people who could turn around for me was either Blake Shelton or Christina Aguilera. So they both turned around, but they had also informed me of the time schedule of Christina's schedule, and it was going to conflict with the time that I needed to do my charity work. I didn't want to give up my charity work, so I chose Blake. And I was so excited to be on Blake's team until I actually experienced being on Blake's team.
Talk about that a little bit, if you don't mind. You know, hey, this the Bridge of the Generation podcast. We don't. This is uncut. Like, I'm not trying to sensationalize anything, but I don't have a boss, so I like to tell me how you feel. You know, I don't want to box you in to tell me what you don't want.
I'm okay with it. Blake, you know, at first he was complimentary in some ways. He was like, well, you remind me of Donna Summers. You know, your voice is very clear, and you have a very young sounding voice. And I'm like, so is he calling me old? And that was the first, you know, I'm like, what is that? But okay, I love Donna Summers. And then he said, well, you're probably going to have problems with La Bamba. I said, why? I'm like,
Why
I
would
sang,
you have a problem with that song?
that's what I wanted to know. Who
That
was having
song is
problems?
older than you.
But Julio, who was singing with me, and was having problems with a La Bamba because he didn't
Yeah.
know. So I was like, oh, I don't have a problem with this song. I got it. And then it was him bringing in Michael Bublé as the team person that they all paired up and bring somebody else in. And Michael Bublé was like, well, Teresa, this is probably, if this you don't make it with this is probably it for you. I said, look, I don't listen to your music. I
Yo,
said, I'm not
no
a fan
offense,
of
young, but Michael Bublé is overrated, yo. I'm sorry. I'm
I
sorry.
let me
I
tell you,
hate to say it. I hate to be that
let me tell you,
guy.
I hear the
He's
appeal in
good,
his
but
voice.
he's
He's okay. No,
he's
he
okay.
has his voice has an appeal.
It
I
does.
can hear it. I get it, but let me be clear.
He got a million
I don't
brothers
care
that
who
does what he
you
does,
are.
though. Like,
But no, my thing was, I don't care who you are. Don't come in here shitting on my parade. You go over there with that.
there you
And
go. I'm sorry.
no, I mean, honestly, like I told him, I don't listen to you. I know who you are, but it's not like I'm buying your CDs. You don't appeal to me that way. So let me be clear.
It's not a legend
and
in
the
my
other
book.
part,
I'm just.
and the other part of that is, if you are going to do this, remember that you're talking to people. This is your game, but this is people's lives. And you and Blake was like, well, Teresa, if you got music on iTunes, I'd buy it. I said, well, go ahead and buy it, because now you don't know nothing about me. I got music on iTunes. Stop talking to me like I don't, like I haven't had a life. If you're
Okay,
gonna keep telling me I'm 40 something years old,
let me stop you for a second. Let me stop you for a second, Ms. Griffin, because when I saw that, like, I remember, like, by this time I'm already tapped into what you got going on, and I'm looking at these guys talking to you like, do you not notice at this? She got like 3 phenomenal projects out. Like, she's not one of these. Hey, please take a look at me. I need a, like, you are a artist. You are a certified artist at this time. And
I understand this. When The Voice first opened up,
yeah,
they were doing artists. The first time Voice came on, they were doing artists because
okay, that's news to me. I didn't know, because I really didn't watch that show like that.
Jesse Campbell went on there, and they were doing real artists.
Okay, I stand corrected then.
So, but no. But I'm saying they changed. So you're not wrong.
Oh,
okay. They changed. The season that I came, they changed. And they went from doing artists, because the guy that does that song, dun, dun, do the dance, do the dance.
Yeah, right. I know that. Yeah.
He was the Cupid Shuffle guy. He was there too. So we were thinking the people that were there were more already seasoned artists who were applying for the show. Right. And they switched up and became, they were trying to compete with American
Idol.
So at this point, you've already spent all of these months. And then you find out that they're switching up and they're not letting you do your original music. You have to choose something else, so it became something different from what you originally, but you've already spent all of these months. So when they started talking to me like that, it pissed me off, because I'm like, hold on. You ain't finna talk crazy to me.
Hey, don't hold your tongue. Hey, I get it, because I'm like, yo, let this woman sing her songs. Like, she don't have good songs. She has great songs. Like, and the songs that she's singing are better than the songs that you guys want her to sing. I'm sorry to say that. Like,
look, when I broke my ankle, now that was the other part. And some people was like, you should have just sued him. But I wanted to get the hell away from him. I broke my ankle, and then they sent this guy with these dirty fingers telling me it's not broken. I was like, how he know? How he know? And so at the time, my husband was my fiance. We weren't married yet. We went back to the room, and my legs swole up like this.
How did you do that? How did you break your ankle? How did that happen?
They didn't have any lights behind the stage, and they had me in these cheap Payless shoes that You know, you don't put no thick girl in no Payless shoes. They
Right.
had me these thick Payless shoes, and there was no lights behind the stage, and my ankle twisted.
Okay.
And I had a spiral fracture of the fibula, and it took me almost a year to recover.
Damn. So you were performing with that the whole entire time?
And they never took me to the hospital. My
husband. I never knew that because you didn't mention.
Well, all you saw in the last episode was I had like a sequence cast on my leg. I had somebody to sequence my leg cast. And
I don't remember. Let me be honest, I don't remember that part.
And so what they did was they really didn't show all of it.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
But you do get to see me standing there, and they show part of it. But what had happened is literally my ankle was broken. They came to me and said, well, if you had to lose, who you gonna lose to? I said, look, let me tell y'all something. I'm ready to go home. I said, I'm sick of this shit. And if I lose, you better be losing to somebody who can sing. And I said, and that would be Trevin.
That was the brother, the black dude.
And that was the baby that I was always with. I was always working with him. He had an awesome voice. And so this is what song they gave me. Saving all my love for you.
You killed that song.
Look, and then they gave him, how can I just let you walk away? Now, goddamn it, if I was singing that song, I'd have still been on there. So it's all, you know, it's all the BS, you know, that was going on. But I told him, I said, you know what? I'm ready to go. So do what you got to do, because every time
they had you doing like conga, and what was that all about? Like
BS, some BS.
Like now is kind of gimmicky now. Like you have a artist. Like now
baby. Everybody that was 30 and over left the same day I did. Everybody that was 30 and over was excommunicated from the show, just like I was, the same time. That day, it was a parade of old folks leaving. 30 and over was out of there. We got so tickled, we was in the lobby drinking. We were in the lobby drinking like, how old are you? I'm 32.
Right.
You're too old. You out of here. You know, all
That's
of us
crazy.
left at the same time. And it was some phenomenal people there who you never got a chance to hear because they never bothered to even show you their audition. And so it was, you know, it's business, it's TV, it's not reality, because reality is really, I don't think they wanted to show what that is. And I'm not against the show. I remember the attorney came over at the end and was like, thank you, Terisa. You were so kind, and you were so, you know, very this and that. And I was like,
let's
and you know, and really, I didn't know if that was out being worried about me suing them or what, but all I knew.
Oh, that's what you thought it was. That's what it was about.
I just wanted to get away from them. I was so over them. You know, I was so sick of the entire process, and somebody trying to tear my spirit down. You know, I felt like emotionally they were being abusive, and I don't want anybody abusing me. So bye.
You won that. What when I look at the other artists, and I'm not even like, I stopped watching that show after that. I just lost interest. I said if you're not gonna give it, take your time. I said, if you're not going to award the artist that's the best singer, what's the use of watching it? I don't, you know.
Look, Michael Jackson got to pee. Hold on.
No, that's cool. Go ahead. I'm about to pour me another drink. One more. We grooving tonight.
Okay, I had to let my child out. Sorry, y'all.
It's all good. It's my last drink for the night. But no, I was just watching that, and I was just like, I can't do this no more. Like, you know, when you know, I remember when what's the girl? She lost, I believe, and it blew up. She blew up. You know,
the chick that sang with Michael Jackson.
Her and the other one from the movie. Oh
wait a minute.
Who did the Jennifer Holiday song? Jennifer Hudson.
Jennifer Hudson. That she was on.
She didn't win an American Idol, and I stopped watching that after that. But when I saw, you know, I went over to The Voice. I said, let me check this out, and I see you on there. By this time, I'm like, wow, they got a real singer. She's about to be out of here. She's about to be out of here. And then I saw the way I'm listening to.
And them clothes, Jesus. Ooh, them clothes.
Oh my, and it's like I'm seeing Christina Aguilera kind of throwing a little shade, like yo. Just,
but wait a minute, let me tell you, I'm a protect her on this one.
All right, go ahead, correct me if I'm wrong, man, but go ahead.
Let me tell
I don't
you,
mind being corrected.
No, she was very complimentary, and they edited that out. They edited that out. They didn't even show. She was like, Whitney is not easy to nail, and you nailed it. They never showed that. Okay. They never showed it.
I stand corrected.
So it's also in the production how they cut it on the floor, and they, in my opinion, they gave her a raw deal on that, because she was always very complimentary to me.
Okay.
Always. You know, I wish I could have picked her team, to be honest. But
I think she would appreciate. I think she would have appreciated what you do more than Blake Shelton. I'm sorry, and it's two different genres. I think he respects it, but I don't think he respects it like the genre that he's in. You know, and I'm just I'm just calling it what it is. You know,
but neither one of them could give me. I asked the question that if I was having voice problems, what would you? And I had to do a performance. What would your advice would be for me? And I was looking for them to tell me to lower the key so that I wouldn't strain my voice. And nobody said it. And you're talking about somebody being your vocal coach who's going to coach you through this. And so I took it too seriously. You know, I thought they were really going to be coaching, when really there was a guy on there named Romeo Johnson who really was the vocal coach, and he was amazing. So let me just say, Romeo, thank you so much for being such a rock. You know, for all of the singers on that show, the vocal coaches behind the scenes, you know, they were supportive and very wonderful. And I can't say, that my entire experience on The Voice was bad, because it was not.
Right.
It wasn't. It was not, like I had a great time for the time that I was there. And then there was some parts of it that was horrible, but there were other parts of it that was amazing, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Okay. If somebody asked me would I do it again, hell no. But it was a great time, and it was a great experience in the fact that I got a lot of new fans, from going on the show, and publicity is what it is. And we have to not. You see people go on dancing with the Stars.
Right.
Why they doing that? Why would you go on there and do that? But it's it's life.
No, because you dropped your last project right after that, I believe.
I did. So actually, I dropped Soul Sophrenic after that, then that's when I dropped Soul Sophrenic, because.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. You dropped that 3 years later. I think like 3 years later. My bad.
And then after Soul Sophrenic came Revival of Soul, and now every title I've had has had soul in it, and this particular project may not have the word soul in it. So it's
it's all good.
It's I want to call it religion, but it's not about religion.
Right.
It's It's religion will get you in trouble, but
faith,
will help you live. Yeah. So I'm contemplating what the title is going to be, but I can tell you something. I believe you're going to love it.
I know I'm gonna love it. I know for a fact I'm gonna love it, because I'm still living off of the Revival. So your last project, I'm still living off that. Like, and you're one of those artists like Maxwell. Like, he releases albums like, it seemed like every 7-8 years, but I'm good with that, because the body of work, once I get it, it's gonna last me another 9 years. So we're good. Miss Griffin, we good. We your real fans like myself, don't worry. Take your time, beautiful. Take your time. Handle what you got to handle. I got enough music that's going to last me another. If you didn't want to drop no more music, I'm going to be honest. That's enough music that can last me for the rest of my lifetime, because there's artists that has dropped 3-4 times the amount of music that you have released, but they don't have they might have you in quantity, but they don't have you in quality.
And quality is all about that.
No doubt, no doubt.
All about that. It's
exactly
quality. I want my fans to say, man, I play these albums over and over. I play these CDs over and over and over again. I want them to,
it's addictive.
Enjoy it. And I really believe, and I have a live CD that's coming out. Actually, it's a live DVD.
Oh, that's better. That's better.
It's a live DVD and Citywide, and my guy Kahari played drums on it.
Okay.
So it's gonna be real. I actually posted the song "Rose Colored Glasses" with him playing. Rose Colored Glasses was one of them songs when I wrote it. He leaves me flying higher than an eagle to the sun. But still my story's not that of a perfect love. It's of a special nature, though you may not see. Designed to live with this man in a field of flower dreams. Drops of love from a man who sometimes drives me to tears. Without him, the emptiness takes my will to live. Kisses from his lips taste like drops of cherry wine. I'm drunk with desire, I'm filled with fire. Flying high and higher, looking through rose-colored glasses. Rainbows to my eyes. So yeah, I'm ready for
Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Like, that's what I'm talking about. We talk about I'm good with what you have given me. Yes, the fan of me would love to have more.
You gonna have it. You're gonna have it real soon.
Yeah, I got it. Like I said, I follow you. I just know an artist like you're not going to be stagnant. I know that you got something cooking, literally, and yeah, I know that you got something brewing and something coming, and I can't wait, because as of right now, you 4 for 4. You have not missed. You have not missed. And this is one of the questions I hate to ask artists this sometimes, because I look at you and you have this great personality, you got this great life, and but I ever ask, I want to ask, like, sometimes, do you ever look at some of these singers and like, wow, I do that like 10 times better but how come I'm not being received? And I say that because I hate to ask that, because I know that you're loved, and I know that you're well received, and when people see you, you get the love, you get the flowers. But in my world, and this is just my ego, maybe this is my ego as far as my taste in music, because I feel like my taste in music is of high quality. You're at the top. So I want you to get all the flowers that you deserve, not some of them.
Let me tell you what I think. What I do is I thank God for the time and the talent that he has given me.
Okay.
I don't compare myself to anyone else. I don't even ask why. Maybe at one point I was like, well, Lord, am I doing something wrong? But I never look at another artist and wonder how they got there, because somebody did something.
Okay.
I just say, direct my path, keep me safe, and allow me to keep doing what it is that you want me to do.
No doubt.
And I will praise your name throughout ceaseless age, at your servant's prayer. Amen. That's where I am with it. I have a great life. My life is beautiful. That's and we have
to hear that. I love to hear
that. We've got to learn that our journey is our journey. This is my journey. As I live and breathe, right. I'm enjoying my journey. And the only way you can truly enjoy your journey is to stop looking at the other person's journey and look at the road ahead. And so I keep my eye on the sparrow, because I know that he's watching over me. And as long as I know that, I will never be forsaken. My thing is, I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging for bread.
Facts.
And I'm okay.
Amen. Amen.
I'm good with God. Whatever he has in store for me, sometimes the understanding of it is difficult.
Right.
But I'm gonna be like Job, and I'm gonna wait on the Lord.
Right.
Because he can take it all away and he can give it back tenfold. But this is my journey, and it's my way through the universe to see what it is, that he has in store for me. And this sliding door may be protecting me from something else. So I don't question him. I just know that whatever it is that I'm doing, this is the road I'm on. And I did it my way.
There you go. That's the beautiful thing, that I love about you and what you bring, to the table. And, I feel like anybody that knows music, that appreciates good music, they can see that. They can see that in you.
Okay, I'm about to say something. I had to turn the camera. Look, because look at all my liquor and stuff. Hold on.
Uh-oh. So I feel good. I can go ahead and give me a little sip now.
Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had a little dribble.
Y'all seeing all my little outfit now.
Okay. I love that picture in the background too. That's a beautiful picture in the background.
Oh, thank you. Ooh,
yeah.
Me and my afro. It's funny because I was telling somebody saw me the other day and it was like, you know what, you look like you. People they see you on the picture, they be like, they don't look like you.
No, that look like, I was just about to say, you look like you. You have a very distinctive look. You have a very distinctive voice. Like, I want you to know that I'm gonna keep complimenting you on your voice. Like, your voice is scary as far as like I can't control the emotions and feelings that I have when I just listen to you and listen to you sing and the songwriter. It's just like, what inspires you? What motivates you now to continue to produce such great music? What motivates you, knowing that you're not going to compromise yourself? But what do you feel about, what motivates you to keep going on?
I don't know how to stop. This is what I love.
Okay.
You look at Stevie Wonder and he's still making music.
That's true.
It's like, why would a preacher not stop preaching? Because
like that.
He's a child of God.
No doubt.
Because that's his mission. This is not something that I control. It's something that controls me. I wake up doing it. I wake up wanting to do it. I go to bed wanting to do it. All I want to do is it. This is my purpose. And so I don't know how not to do it.
No doubt.
Singers, it's odd. Musicians will play anywhere. They'll sing anywhere.
Right.
Because that's what it's a thing that drives us.
Okay.
That we can't explain. And so I'll never stop. I won't ever, even if I'm helping somebody else create.
Right.
Even if I'm passing it on to a younger person, I won't ever stop, because this joy I have, the world didn't give it to me. No it's an old song. Your world didn't give it and the world can't take it away. and I'm good with God. And so I will keep doing this as long as he allows me to. I don't feel outdated, or
you're not.
I don't feel like I'm not able to do it to full capacity. I feel like I can run on. I can keep creating.
No doubt.
I have so many songs in my heart and soul that I want to give.
No doubt.
But I want to give them right. And so when I give it, I want it to be forever.
Nah, no doubt.
I want to be proud of it. I want to say, yeah, I did that. I did that.
Yeah, that's your legacy. That's your legacy right there. And I feel like, artists like yourself, your music is going to live longer than me, than you, than all of us, because, what you're putting, what you're laying down for us, man, we love it. And it resonates with the people. And we feel like we have a connection with you through your music. And I really appreciate that. This is coming from.
Oh, thank you. And thank your girlfriend.
Yeah. My fiance. Yeah. It's all good. It's all good.
I got a song coming out about Put a Ring on It. So
yeah. I already did that. I remember. I mentioned.
Finger, girl.
We got into it over you one time. I said, this woman, because I would listen to your music one time and I was just talking about you, just kept talking about you. And I'm like, it's the music, baby. It's the music. You know, I'm a music guy, and her music is just grabbing me, and it won't let me go for this moment. I can't shake it right now. And you know, so this moment right here, I'm on it. I'm humble. I'm gonna cherish this for the rest of my life, and I would love to be able to work with you again. And when you release something else, I would love to be able to talk with you. Do you what you got next going? What's going on next? What you got next coming out?
Well, right now I have a cookbook app coming out.
Okay.
Called Tea Time. It'll be coming in December. I think I'm shooting for the third week in December.
Okay.
For my cookbook app to come out. It's called Tea Time, and they'll be able to download it on your phone. And I'm working on trying to get the live CD out, but I think the single will probably beat that. I think the live CD will have to hold.
Okay.
But I'm looking at making sure that I get that single. Terry and I were talking about dropping that, or I think the song that we're talking about dropping, Loving You.
Now let me ask this real quick, right? I hate to cut you off. Is Terry like your main producer? Is he like who's
I produce myself.
You produce hold up all those songs that I've been hearing. Now I know that you write them. I know that you write like 90.
I'm the producer, and I'm the executive producer too.
Gee. You hear that? Hold up. You guys hear that? This is what I'm talking about. The Bridging the Generation podcast. We only pick the best. We talking about this is a one of one artist right here. Like this, you don't hear women producing music for some reason, and I don't know why, but I had no idea. Like I know that you write the songs, but I never knew that you produced the music.
Yeah.
I'm speechless. I'm gonna be honest. I don't even know where to go. Like right now, like I'm speechless because you have some.
Our producer wears a lot of hats, from choosing the musicians, right down to the production of it, to the last note. You know,
right.
You know, there are times when there are things that just, you know, somebody, I'm gonna add this to it for you. No, that doesn't work for this, but thank you. You know, you listen, it's like, this doesn't work here, move this here, take this there. And all I need is a good engineer. You know, that's what you want.
Man, you are amazing. You're amazing.
And so
you're amazing.
I'm just grateful that I have the access to great musicians, you know, so that when I get ready to do it, I can say, hey, I'm shooting this over to you. Just like I was telling you, I shot it over to Ron Walters. And you know, God, I'm gonna miss. I already missed Danny Leak, because, you know, this guy mastered every project I had, but you know, I've got it covered because my mixer, Craig Bauer, who's Grammy Award winning, he's gonna take care of that. So I'm good with that. I'm just getting back into the swing of it without Kahari, which is, you know, which is difficult, but I'm good now. You know, I'm great. I feel like he's got his drums, you know, percussion. He's got his on my shoulder.
He looking down. He's proud of you. I know he got to be looking down at you, and I know he's proud of you because.
Well, I hope so. You know, if he ain't doing nothing else, at least just old tap on the back. So I'm ready. I'm ready, and I'm ready to give. You know, I'm ready to go ahead and finish up this project and get some things done. We started already, so that's the important part. So as soon as I get that my first single, I will be sending it over to you. And
thank you so much. I'm on. I am on it. Yes, thank you so much. You know, I don't even know what to say after that. Right? Like I've been waiting for 10 years for this moment, you know, for me to have, and I'm thankful to have a platform, to have artists like, you know, my platform is called Bridging the Generation. I'm trying to bridge the gap, bridge the generation, let people know that there's great artists like yourself that's out here making phenomenal music. And I see the appreciation that you have for the guys that came before you, and you continue to carry that, hold that torch and carry that legacy, and while carving out your own. So we appreciate you. We love you, And I want to say, where can they find you at, like on social media? Where can they find your music?
So you can go to iTunes or Amazon and get my music. iTunes or Amazon and grab up my music. CD Baby you can download there, but I have a website, terisagriffin.com, TERISAGRIFIN. On Instagram, I'm Terisa_Griffin. Somebody grabbed it and go try to sell it to me. No, Terisa, TERISA_Griffin, GRIFFIN. And then on Twitter, I'm Terisa Griffin. On Facebook, I'm Terisa Griffin.
Okay.
So as long as I know that when you spell Terisa, the set is TERI, not TERE, it's TERISA. So you just put that in. If you put that in the Google line, I'm the first one that comes up.
Okay. Well,
Google me. Or go to
Google, yeah. Do your Googles. Well, Terisa Griffin, Miss Griffin, the Empress of Soul. I really appreciate this opportunity of chopping up with you. This has been everything that I thought it would be and more. And I look forward to just hearing more great music from you. And you just continue to just be the beautiful person that you are, and just continue to give us great. Hey, what's going on, Michael? You have a good night too. But I love what you do. We love what you do, and just keep being the person that you are. I'm honored to have you on, blessing the platform. Can the Bridging the Generation? Can we get a shout out? The Bridging the Generation podcast. Can I get a shout out?
I'd like to say Bridging the Generation podcast is absolutely amazing. Stop by, take a listen. Bridging the Gap.
There we go. You heard it here first. We only have the best. We only have the best artists. That's it. That's all we do. Bridging the Generation podcast. To Terisa Griffin, we love you. Hope you have a great holiday. Enjoy your time. Can't wait to hear some new music from you.
I got you, boo.
All right.
Michael's gonna say thank you.
All right, buddy. You take care, man. You have a good night, Ms. Griffin.
You too. God bless you.
Happy
Thanksgiving. Okay, baby.
All right.
Uh-oh, girl. You done found you a man. And I guess he loving you like no one can. Uh-oh, girl. You done found you a man. And he loving you like no one can. Oh, girl. You done found you a man. And he loving you like no one can. She don't break her shin. Woo, ain't love great? Feels so good.
Fool, shut up! You'll get your money when I say you get your money. Now, T is mine. Y'all know how I feel about when anybody mess with mine. You feel me? And I said y'all get y'all money after the show, and that's what I meant. I want to get paid, do your damn jobs. That's it, that's all. Let's go.
at night, and sometimes I yearn through the day. Distant lover, you should think about me. Just say a prayer for me, please. Think about me sometimes. Think about me, yeah, in misery. Oh, have mercy, babe, as I reminisce for our joyful summers together. Promise we made, baby, all those daily letters. All of a sudden, baby, everything seemed to explode. Oh, now I gaze out my window, baby, down that lonesome road. Sugar, that every moment I spend with you, I'll treasure it like it was precious jewel. Lord, have mercy, have mercy, have mercy, Lord. Love you so much.